Okay, so Pavel, you have been spending the last couple of hours trying to essentially avoid this saber-toothed creature. You've done fairly well so far. Um, when all of a sudden, out of the blue, an ancient dragon appears and just pounces on this thing. You use the ensuing turf war to make good your escape and start heading back towards where you separated from the party. However, on your way there, just as you've crested a ridge, you kind of just get this dazzling flash of light in the distance, kind of force you to shield your face from the sudden dazzle of it all, and then a colossal crack and shockwave washes over the land. And when you kind of manage to come to and your eyes are back to usual, you can see that somewhere in the far north, where once had been a quite considerable mountain range, there appears to be nothing more than a smouldering crater. So you pick up the pace a little bit down towards where this camp was, and as you draw near, you find the party kind of outside in a stunned silence, kind of facing northwards.
Good to see you still alive, Havel. We might have done something a bit silly.
Defines silly.
Do you remember the old mountain that used to be just out over there?
Yeah, kind of hard to miss.
Yeah, we might be partially responsible for that no longer being there. Maybe.
Partially.
Oh.
So the long and short of it, we discovered that Quintilius is building a super weapon that he wants to use to destroy Rantagoth, because that would somehow bring about the release of Kavtara, I suppose. Well, we guess. So we gave the plans for the super weapon to Rantagoth, and he appears to have used it.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Okay.
No, it didn't.
No, it
Well, it seemed like...
Though I must admit
maybe.
a certain curiosity. I'm curious to see how he uses it.
I'll just sort of point over at the mountain range that used to be there. That's how he's used it.
Yes, but I doubt it would be the last time.
True. But, well, maybe now that he's seen its power, he'll be satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll for persuading myself?
Sure, that's going to be a very high DC.
Nah, I think I'll leave it.
Yeah, so this shockwave has had the added benefit, I suppose, of blasting whatever snow clouds overhead were in the sky for quite some time. So the air is clear, still obviously cold, but you're not having to endure the blizzard that was present when you were fighting that dragon. But yeah, at least the sun is now somewhat visible.
Do you reckon the ships stayed with all of that going on?
Well, perhaps.
Maybe they couldn't see it from where they're at.
You know that there's a series of very large kind of hills and land masses that you've crossed to get to this point, so it's a fairly safe assumption from sea level all that way behind you. You probably wouldn't have seen that, and would have been
Maybe.
far enough away that the blast wave wouldn't have reached them.
Maybe they saw a bit of light in the sky, but yeah.
Right.
Aurora Borealis at this time of year.
While we're this far north, do we not think it's wise to go and visit where Braxton read about those reported artifacts, and potentially the site in the north of Nordhammer? It could be a
Well,
while
I think
before we're back up this way.
we could, but I think we still need to deal with the fact of getting the fake plans into Quintilius's hands. I think we were hoping Alistair might still be around, but if he's ran all the way back home to wherever Quintilius's base is, then maybe not Alistair, Wolfus.
Yeah.
But if he's legged it all the way back west, then
Maybe we should look for him.
I'll just see if there's any sign of anyone still in the little
Village.
camp.
So the area where the camp had been set up has been just abandoned. You can see that they've taken off in the sleds, but there's some kind of heavier bits of equipment or stuff that had been needing to be assembled that would have been requiring disassembly has just been abandoned and left when the others struck camp. Seems they left in a fair bit of a hurry.
Okay, yeah, they've legged it. How long has it been since we left the boat?
The boat, so it's only been about 2 days to get
And
you
if we-
coaxed into there.
So if we started this trek over here, that's going to be like another 2 days. Yeah, we're not making it back to that boat if we start going west.
Yeah.
So if we start going west, we're going to have to
committed ourselves to that.
we're going to have to continue going west. Yeah, that's the thing. Because the boat will leave without us.
Yes.
But when are we ever going to find ourselves back up this way?
Yeah. I don't know. What does everyone else think?
As much as I relish in the fact that we may be going towards another artifact of Azura, I don't want to jeopardize everything that's going on. This seems bigger than anything I'm involved in.
But then again, if we could perhaps gain some favor with the gods after what we've just done, by collecting these artifacts.
Oh, yes, that's a good idea. Let's get a third god involved. That'll go down swimmingly, I'm
I
sure.
just think we could probably use some goodwill right now. A bit of divine favor might not go amiss.
True.
And well, the truth is as well that Cotilius doesn't have the second half of the schematic, so there's no immediate threat of him destroying the world.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. I'm sure we'll run into him again at some point, even if we don't walk straight into his hands. We could potentially have time to go and check this out.
Well, I'm not going to say no, of course.
Who knows, if we're really, really, really quick, we might just get there and back down to the boat in time.
Maybe we should have a look around to see if there's any track of that bastard that was holding me here.
Well, I think all the tracks have headed out
So,
on
well,
sleds or whatever. Is there
So we know that he's headed
do we
out.
have any way of specifically tracking Wolfus? Like him, but specifically him?
I don't have anything long range enough, I don't think.
I think we already did it, didn't we? Where we tried
Yeah, my
searching
attack
for him
last
within
time.
a thousand
Yeah.
feet or whatever it was. Yeah. Oh yeah, you tried on his mask, didn't you? Locate
Yeah,
object on
locate
his
object.
mask.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so he was already 1,000 feet away at that point. Which, to be fair, we were kind of in the cave. But yeah, so something tells me he's probably just fucking seen that dragon shit his pants and then liked it.
I can't really blame him for that.
Well, Cotillius, mate.
Probably.
So I vote we go for the artifact.
Okay. I second that.
I'm on board.
Havel?
Why would you do that?
It's already a majority.
Still like to hear your opinion. If you have any ideas.
Well, chasing down Wolfus is what I would have gone for. But we're a team. And we need to decide together what's right.
Out of curiosity, do you actually have a way to track him?
Tarek's just gonna like grit his teeth and do that kind of like desperate look before shaking his head.
Okay.
I don't think so. I've never had a need to track anything but myself.
I've got questions about that, but we'll come back to it later. Havel, are you able to track him in any shape or form?
I mean, besides actual tracks, I don't think you can. I don't think I can.
Okay. Then we might as well go for this artifact. See if we can figure out a way to get him back. Oops.
Are there any sleds remaining?
No, it seems those that were taken those that were present were all taken.
Okay. So we'll be on foot. Unless anyone has any other means of transportation.
Nothing that would benefit all of us.
Not for this many people.
Okay.
I could probably transport.
Oh, maybe the sleds left over by the tribe is still there.
I just asked that. There's none left.
Okay.
What's your transport, Tris?
Oh, it's literally
Cool.
just the 500 feet of dimension door.
Okay.
Is it 500 feet? I think it's something like that. It would be slow, and I can only take one other person with me.
The only thing I can do is conjure horses, but that's only for an hour.
It'd be better to keep hold of the
Do you have any other
spell
spells?
slot.
Do you have any other spells that have like a longer duration?
Oh yeah.
Do you have maybe an item that could change that duration?
Exactly.
Hunter's Mark?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
He's baiting you. Don't take it.
I could feel the one coming. It'll happen one day.
So is
Animal friendship
Yeah,
lasts for 24
but-
hours.
oh shit! So it does.
Before you do anything drastic, the bits of machinery and things that have been left over, do any of them look like they could be fashioned into sleds?
Well, the machinery is largely what was used to cut open the door. So not particularly. There's a lot of kind of metal pipe work and all that. but there's not much in the way of plate or anything to.
Okay.
All we need is some duct tape and a couple of planks, and we're good to go.
Right, Havel, back to you.
Fair enough. Let's have a look. See. We can use up one of my fucking goddamn.
Is that something that stops us from just walking?
Well, it'd be like
I mean-
a couple of days to get there.
If we're walking,
Yeah. Well, we walked up here, didn't we? And that took us 2 days. Let's say the same distance again, if not a little bit further, to get to here. What sort of? Well, I guess we probably don't even know. Like we don't have any idea what kind of terrain is between here and there. Like, because obviously we're not on roads or anything, are we?
No, well,
But we could follow the tracks. I
yeah,
guess
the tracks imply that there is at least something suitable for a sled, so therefore, horses can probably traverse that just as well, presuming the snow it doesn't get too deep in places. But the areas around you are still, fairly mountainous, but there would be like valleys to travel in if you valued speed.
so I could make a bunch of giant badgers.
and that would be better.
I don't know. I just like the idea of riding giant badgers. Perfectly honest.
Who doesn't?
You're the man making the animals. If you want giant badgers, there's nothing stopping you, I suppose.
I just love the thought of you being like, oh yes, I used the ring. Instead of summoning riding horses, we're having riding lightning arrows.
Fires you at people at the destination.
Why not? Might as well.
That'd be pretty sick.
How giant is a giant bat? Like, could a giant bat carry a person? I'm just sorry.
Normal bats are kind of small, right? So giant.
I know, yeah. So like giant, you feel like how big would it be?
Are we talking a African or a European bat?
Fucking bat. That was the
Flying actually is not the worst idea I've ever heard.
They've got 15 strength.
That's stronger than Triss. Yeah, I won't fuck with them.
One of the top questions: can you ride a giant bat 5e?
What's the overall answer?
You can ride your giant bat. You can ride it with a hat. You can ride it near or far. Sorry.
Alrighty. Let's have a look at these things then. Do large beasts unaligned.
Well, large, I think, dictates as well that it can be used as a mount.
Yeah, I'd say a large beast would serve that purpose.
I just think how fucking cool that would be if we all fly giant bats into the fucking across the fucking Arctic.
Like how we walked all this way. We walked all
when
this
you
way.
forget about the 1 hour duration and you're like at 12,000 feet or something, and then just
Well, hence the swap it for fucking a different duration. Don't know. Do you have use the spells?
I'm trying to think of the downside of having bat mounts, and the only thing I can think of is they wouldn't be able to see ghosts because they're blind and they use echolocation. But apart from that, I think
You wouldn't be able to see ghosts.
Well, yeah, because the echolocation would just go through the ghost.
But why ghosts?
Anyway.
Well, okay.
Crispy's writing down ghosts.
flying ghosts.
That's weakness ghost.
What if the ghosts are blind as well? What if
Then
the
it's even flying.
ghosts of giant bats?
They can't see themselves.
not much of a threat.
I mean, if we're thinking of weaknesses, giant bats are also going to be very vulnerable to anti-aircraft fire. But
So does everything that flies.
So that's the A10.
So,
All right, then, so
can we actually
bats.
fly?
you would be able to ride those. I think a large beast would make them sufficiently sizable that you could ride them.
Okay, go on. This will be funny then.
I just want to point out as well, you do have the option of doing giant owls. I just pointed at giant bats because I thought that would be funny.
Well, which would be
Snap.
easier to ride, an owl or a bat?
You can only ride at
I
90
don't know.
away.
Flies? Maybe like walk like diurnal would be best.
For what, sorry?
No, flying could be up like the best way because you could
That's
go in a
yeah,
straight
because
line.
we're in mountainous terrain and shit. Yeah, we can just fly directly there, pretty much.
What if
As the
there's-
crow flies.
I mean, actually, to be fair as well,
Bat flies.
there is also an ancient white dragon flying around, so maybe
That's a fair point. Now that you mention it,
maybe you could summon a couple of decoys as well, just in case.
He's busy using something. Hopefully he's had his fill for the time being. Maybe.
Yeah.
What's got a really fast flying speed?
Fast. Well, if we just fly
Fast
low,
flying.
if we just fly low to the ground, then maybe that would be like a better plan. You know?
avoid the radar.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
Getting our fucking D&D/Ace Combat mission going here.
get ready to sorry.
Strafing run, just Torek throwing a load of potions off the back of bats.
So what's the consensus?
Whatever takes your fancy. Let's go fly though. I think that might be the
Yeah.
easiest exit.
Bats, owls, it's your choice, but I say flying is probably the better way of getting there.
Fair.
It might still potentially give us enough time to get back to the boat rather than having to go directly to Quintilius's fortress.
Okay. Do we have any preference on a bat? Oh, actually. Let's have a look at the stats for a giant owl. Bats look a bit better. Oh, this is going to go terribly wrong.
Bats adapted to live in snow environments.
That's lovely.
It depends entirely on whether he wants like one of the traditional kind of cave bats or whether he wants one of those fucking fluffy as shit bats, but I can't remember what they're called.
Fox.
Ones that look like
Yeah.
Kalumu, basically. Because I could definitely see you lot riding them.
Little fluff bats.
Little fox ones.
Right, I'll cast third level conjure animals. I make 6 bats. Giant bats. 6 giant bats. Let's get it correct. And I'll use the ring to change the duration to 24 hours. As it is an
Alrighty.
animal friendship.
I am going to.
And I'm going to use my robe's ability to impose advantage.
Well, considering it's on a table, I could I don't know if.
Oh wait, I see what you mean.
necessarily
I just
it's
don't
like
want to get a 1.
Each one is essentially like its own result.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Yeah.
So
Alright,
it's
okay.
not traditional advantage. Motherfucker! Every time you get something good. Table.
Or at least not
The
terrible.
highest roll of the night.
Well, it actually isn't applicable because it's as an additional D4 damage, a dice of the same type to the spell that triggered it. But you're not in combat, so
Fair.
no ill effect.
Got away with that one.
Can I just go up to Havel and give him a sniff to make sure that he still smells of lavender?
I don't think that's going anywhere.
Despite his bathing habits, he does indeed still smell like lavender.
I love that he like summons 6 bats and Chris just walks up to him and just.
Yeah, to an
Oh,
outsider,
dear.
your adventuring party has a few quirks.
You are the Joe Biden of this team. Jeez. Sorry, I didn't mean that.
Let's mount up. Fuck off.
Okay, so you guys get onto the back of these bats. Now it's quite tricky. It's obviously incredibly different from riding a horse, but these things are pretty docile. Havel clearly has them under control, so you do get on and as secure as best you can. With outstretched wings, Havel in the lead, you see the first bat take a few steps of a run up before flapping these large leathery wings into the chilled air. After a bit of a run up, it gets airborne, followed by the rest of you. Now, not being typically creatures of the habit of travelling long distances in packs, you don't have the lovely kind of goose-like V formation.
Giant geese.
But you get airborne in a reasonably compact group, probably about 20-foot spacing between each bat. So you guys keep gripping on for dear life. Obviously, flying is for the vast majority of you a new experience, and being over a mountainous area, the ground at times drops away as the bats crest a ridgeline, but you don't travel too far kind of into the atmosphere, trying to keep low, as you previously kind of indicated that was the plan. So, Braxton, you've got the map of where these sites are, so you kind of point the... If I don't even know what the collective name of a group of bats is, but just substitute it with squadron for the time being. So you guys...
A swarm?
A swarm. That would probably make sense.
Colony or cauldron?
It's a cauldron. Wow.
It could be
Cool.
a cloud, flock, colony. All of them
Well,
work,
let's stick with
actually.
cauldron because that sounds pretty cool.
It's criminally underused in the witch circles.
Ha! For a group of rattlesnakes, it's called a Roomba. Fun fact.
Yeah, so you kind of point the directions out to Avel, who steers the cauldron, a little further north than the sled tracks go. But you keep flying. Again, the weather conditions are pretty good for flying. The kind of clear air, whilst obviously not very pleasant as it lashes into your face now that it's got the added airspeed as well as the natural wind, but there's no snowfall or excessive turbulence to cause the bats much problems. So you fly, you keep going into the night. The lack of light doesn't seem to bother the bats at all. As Torek pointed out, they are creatures that rely on echolocation, so the lack of any visuals seems to make no real difference to them. So you guys keep going. The landscape beneath you starts to become a little more mountainy. The rocks, beneath kind of jut out from under the snow quite jaggedly. It seems that this area here is starting to kind of rise away from sea level as well. The temperature drops as you guys keep flying upwards, following the gradient of the mountain ranges. Coupled now with the lack of daylight, this is starting to pose quite a harsh set of conditions for you guys to be flying under. So I'm going to need everybody to make a kind of a con save now, as this kind of bitingly cold wind is at the level now where even your protective gear is going to struggle.
I have a question. I'm still suffering from 2 levels of exhaustion, aren't I?
No, because of the level up, essentially.
Oh, okay.
So
Bit of a rest in the
Well,
cave, maybe.
12 from me.
12.
17.
I was flying right up next to Braxton at the time.
You already established they were 20 feet apart, unfortunately.
18.
Otherwise, I would have said, yeah.
It's a 6 for ruling.
It's 6. Okay, so
This poor skinny elven frame is a bit.
yeah, the biting wind. There's only so much you can think away the actual conditions around you, Rulin, and before too long, you find yourself kind of, uncontrollably shaking on the back of this bat. You suspect that you're going to have real difficulty staying mounted for much longer.
Guess I'll try and shout to the others. I think we should land make a fire, maybe. I'm just sort of like trying to hug the bat to try and stay as warm as I can.
So as you hug the bat, its leathery skin offers very little in the way of protection. It doesn't have a nice thick plume of feathers for you to bury your face into.
That's a
like
fairy.
Some other creatures might.
Oh, shit.
Also, I want to point out, if we'd picked owls, it would have been a parliament of owls.
Well, that would have definitely fit, because you're about that incompetent as a group. So,
Oh dear.
Havel, can you take us down? Sounds like Roland's struggling there.
I was like, I don't know, can I? Oh.
well, you definitely could. It's just whether you will.
Fine. We can land.
Alrighty, so Havel, you find a good spot to land, kind of halfway up one of these mountains, but on a bit of a ledge where the overhanging rock is going to shield you from the prevailing winds. So you guys kind of come to a quite abrupt landing. It's a bit jarring, and first-time flyers probably a little nerve-wracking, but you clamber down, and sure enough, you've got a bit of shelter here on this ridge with a bit of a rocky overhang. You find somewhere that looks like it'd be suitable to maybe set a fire and get out of the elements. You can see now the kind of very end of Ruland's nose is starting to go a little bit blue.
I'll produce flame and go and huddle up next to him and try and warm him up a little bit.
You know that scene in Dumb and Dumber when they're on the back of the little moped thing.
So yeah, Triss, you produce a flame and kind of waft it in front of Ruland. After a few minutes, you you start to see the shivering kind of subsides a little bit, and Rulin, you start to feel the kind of that penetrating cold retreat a little from your bones. But by now it's probably early hours of the morning. The sky is still remarkably clear. Torek, you reckon that the astronomers back at the academy would have probably shed blood for an observatory in a location like this? The view you can get of the stars even from here, they're phenomenally bright. There's zero light pollution whatsoever. And the atmosphere seems very obliging today for that kind of great view of the heavens.
Wow.
And when you came back, you repaid that loyalty by introducing them to your friends.
At least I'll offer a clue of like how close we are, right?
Yeah, so you consult with Braxton's map and take a reading of where the North Star is. And you reckon you're probably... You're not far. You're most of the way there.
They lied to you.
It'd be a short flight or maybe a morning's walking to get to your location.
That's good to know. Yeah, I share that with the party in case we want to do anything new based on it. But I think we're sitting pretty at the moment, right?
What time of day did we leave the last location? What time do we have until basically to use those bats?
So you left there probably just coming up to like early evening time, been flying through the night.
Okay.
So, you've probably still got like, a good 8 hours in those bats.
I'll have to
Good 8 hours.
get us the rest of the way there, and then obviously however long it takes us when we're inside.
It'd definitely be enough to get you the rest of the way.
Yeah. So while we're discussing this, Rudel, I'll just make a quick cup of tea, maybe. Warm up his insides.
Yep. So you break out your gear and start melting some snow on Triss's flames for a nice soothing cup of tea. But as you guys cast your eyes over the scenery, the rest of the valley is just again bleak, devoid of any kind of man-made objects. This natural beauty here is completely undisturbed. And despite its ruggedness, it's it's kind of awe-inspiring, really, just to see how kind of wild this landscape truly is. But nothing disturbs you up on this ledge. You're reasonably far up the mountain. So, Rulin, you get your nice cup of tea, and the chills start to, kind of rescind themselves, and you're back to normal before too long. So you're probably going to get like a short rest out of this, essentially. Just an hour's recuperating in the cover of this ridge. If that is of concern to anybody.
Because of the level up, I actually don't.
Yeah, we leveled up, so we're all good, aren't we?
Yeah, that's true.
It's more about just trying to avoid collapsing for Rulin. Just having a quick break.
Yeah. So that's something that you achieve with that cup of tea and Triss's fire.
Unless there's anything that Torek can prepare in a short rest.
I want it done quickly.
Not in a short rest, no.
Okey-dokey.
You just reminded me that for a level up, I can replace one of my cantrips. Considering getting rid of Mending.
Come in handy.
I know. And I'm just going to curse myself if I do get rid of it, because there will come that one bit where the whole campaign hinges on me needing to repair something. I'll just sit pretty. But you know, I've got amazing access on cantrips.
Yeah, you do have quite a few good ones.
Mm.
Okay, cool. So after a short respite, you guys mount up again, and Havel leads you back into the air. As you crest the ridge of this mountain range that you've just left, you see this dazzling sunrise in the eastern horizon. Kind of perspective that you've now got, kind of just at cloud base level, is phenomenally beautiful. Just these, actually, I would say untouched northern wastes. You'd be looking back over. There would be the crater in the kind of far left of your vision. The almost untouched wastes of the Northlands, kind of gleaming with the sun's rays reflecting off all the snow-capped mountains.
It's just
But
turn so we can't.
But yeah, that crater does kind of spoil it just that little bit. But you keep flying, and after a kind of a short flight, I say short, about 4 hours probably, you're getting near. So you guys keep your eyes looking out. However, your first spot in the distance, what appears to be the only signs of a structure in these lands. You see what appears to be the twin peaks of a particularly large mountain up ahead. However, there appears to be a temple carved or built into one of these, a little below the peak. However, you can also see that there appears to be like almost a minaret structure on the other peak with a bridge between these two mountain tops. But it appears that the kind of main body of this temple is again situated at this lower entrance, slightly down from the mountain top. But you could see already from the air that this place is, decrepit and hasn't been treated kindly by the winds. You can see several pillars have collapsed out front, and the stairs leading up to this entrance have long since been cracked by the kind of freeze thaw of the ice. But the entrance, at least from your altitude, looks to be unblocked and devoid of activity.
Well, shall we land?
Yes. Which side are we landing on?
Doesn't look like anything's gonna collapse. I guess it's hard to tell from the air, but it's not like crumbling stone or anything, is it?
You can see that some of the other pillars have obviously suffered damage, but the remaining ones are all still fairly solid. It looks like there's no immediate danger from what you can tell from the air.
So where's the widest spot to
probably
set down the bats?
Just leading up to the staircase of this main entrance, you'd have a good enough landing zone there.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
I'll point there.
So you kind of bring the bats down in a spiral before touching down just outside these temple gates, Havel. As the rest of you dismount, this structure is much more impressive now from the other direction, kind of looking up at it. These pillars are pretty substantial, probably looking about 25 feet of carved stone. From the looks of it, the stone is the same kind as the mountain, probably for the obvious logistical reasons. But they've been touched by a very skilled mason from the looks of it. Braxton, roll me a religion check, please. If I do it with advantage, because it's your order, so you'd be familiar.
You might think.
There's a 14.
So you definitely recognise the styles in the frieze above the main entrance. The kind of storytelling narrative used by a lot of the more modern temples of Azora. However, these ones seem to be, a lot older. The stories don't appear to be as varied as the rest of the temples in your order, which perhaps implies that these were carved before those stories were written.
Are they familiar stories or are they different stories?
So these ones depict a kind of a scene, which is quite an old one from the Azoran holy books of the time period where the lady was rumored to have walked the lands. This one depicts, several of the adventures of her companion knights. So it would be a series of tales you'd be familiar with.
Yeah. I think I'm just going to pipe up and just say, out of respect, I won't touch anything unless you want me to. I know I have a capacity for, despoiling.
Tarek, your pickup line's getting weirder and weirder.
Just careful with these more fragile columns if you're going to touch anything.
Thank you.
Do I get any weird bad juju feeling being outside this place?
Roll me an Arcana.
Ooh. Uh, 18.
That's mad that you've got a 15 modifier for that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Tris, you feel that something is off with this place. It's got a certain kind of aura to it, but you're not entirely comfortable with.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sort of hang back a little bit.
What happened the last time you were in an Azura shrine?
Probably better I don't go in, actually.
Interestingly, it's not the same kind of feeling you got in the last shrine.
Oh.
In fact, it's quite the opposite, really.
What happens if I cast Detect Magic?
That would depend on the range of it.
That's a good question. Sorry, let me just find it. 30 feet.
Then you would get nothing back.
Okay.
At this point, it is literally just the kind of a feeling of place that you're picking up, like little residual hints of something on the winds of magic. But as you stand there, you see that the temple clearly at one point did have doors of sorts, but they've long since succumbed to the elements up here. And as such, the entryway lies open.
Well, Braxton, I think this is your party.
Yep. Say no more. Starts to walk in, take my shield out, showing the sign, the hand on the shield as I approach, and I just walk into the shrine.
Okay, so Braxton, you raise your shield in advance through this doorway, and the first thing that you can see is the main entryway to this temple leads into a small little anteroom, but beyond that you can see a scene that is familiar to you. It's a very similar layout to most of the kind of chapels that serve as houses of worship for the remaining followers of Azura. The telltale pews and a kind of a large grand pulpit. Again, all of this carved from the same rock of the mountain, and shielded from the outside weather. This stuff has been preserved a little bit better, but it's again still clearly quite old. And kind of along the outer walls, it's kind of set into alcoves. You can see again stone statues of kind of knights in plate. Most of them in fairly neutral stances.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna go up towards the front. Is it like an altar, or is there just like a?
Yeah. So behind this pulpit, you have a kind of a raised altar. Behind that, you can see that there was at one point a window here, but if it was ever glazed, that has long gone. So the altar has a fairly thick dusting of snow on it. As you approach Braxton, you can see now from your position behind the pulpit that there is a kind of a set of staircases at the rear of this chapel, and you can see that there's a set of stairs that leads up, but there's also a set of stairs that leads down further into the mountain.
First of all, I just bow at the altar. It's a sign of respect. And let's have a look down the downward stairs that go further into the mountain.
Alrighty, so you bow at the altar, and as you kind of reach out a hand to touch it, you kind of get a sense that something here is deeply wrong. This might once have been consecrated ground, but it seems that is no longer the case.
Oh, in that case, can I... Hang on, I think I've got something for this.
Consecrated ground.
Divine sense?
Yeah, that's the one. Divine sense. I don't use it very often. Can I use divine sense?
You can, so remind me exactly what creatures that detects, if any.
I'll just find it.
I think it's fiends and undead. I want to say
it is. You can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell, or know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
So, well, you sense that this ground has been desecrated by something, something quite a long time ago. However, you can't pinpoint exactly what it is.
Okay. This place has been touched by those who are not followers of Azura. Something feels off, but I don't know what.
I didn't touch anything, I swear. Like I said.
Yeah, Triss. So you now you're inside have kind of got again this similar feeling of foreboding, but it's getting a bit stronger.
Can I cast Detect Magic again?
You can. And what was it again? 60 feet or 30 feet?
30 feet.
You're getting a little bit of something from down the stairs. You suspect that it's illusion magic.
Braxton, you're right. There's something going on down those stairs. I've got a bad feeling. It's not like the last place. It's a little bit different.
Well, I guess we just need to be extra cautious.
Maybe we go up before we go down?
If you don't feel anything being up there, then yes, safer to go there first. And I head towards the stairs.
Alrighty, so Braxton heads towards the.
Wait, could I try and stop him?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll just go, wait. If we go upstairs, what if that thing below us cuts us off? We'll have no choice, no escape. We'll be cornered.
The bat's still outside?
They will be for another 4 hours or so.
And I assumed we'd probably be going down into that basement at some point to have a look and see what's going on. Braxton isn't going to want us to leave it in this state. Surely?
Nope. Well,
I'm not going first. Not my domain.
So no, it's not coming from the ground. Okay.
Do we know that there's something down there, or is it just magic?
just magic for now. And bad feelings.
Spoopy whoopy feelings.
Well, let's just try and stay quiet then. If there is something down there, maybe it doesn't know we're here yet.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So we can take a look upstairs and then come back down.
Yes. Are we all going up?
Probably
Yes.
best.
I'll trail at the back and just keep an ear out for anything sneaking.
Great. I'll take point.
I'm quite perceptive.
Alrighty, so Braxton, you keep your shield raised and cautiously approach this staircase. Obviously, there's no lit torches anywhere, so you can't really see too far down into the kind of depths of this. But you can see that the shaft goes, a reasonable way, probably about another 30 feet down or so. But you can't see much beyond that. So you turn your eyes skyward and start to march up the staircase. This way seems to be significantly taller. It appears to be leading you up towards the kind of a peak of the mountain. So you start climbing. And after a few minutes, you start getting near to the top, and again, like a little bit of snow has been blown in, and the staircase becomes a little bit more slippy underfoot. So you carefully proceed, kind of warning the others behind you to mind their step.
As we
and
go
you,
up, can I cast Detect Magic again?
Yeah, sure.
Given that it's a bit taller than the way down seemed to be.
So, Triss, you can no longer detect that illusion magic beneath you. However, the bad feeling you've got has started to become stronger, and now you sense why it is you're uneasy. You get a very similar bad feeling to when you met those kind of fallen angels at the
Oh.
battlefield.
Braxton, slow down, slow down.
Yes.
There was illusion magic below us, but whatever we're going up to, you were in the battleground with the angels, right?
Yes. Yes.
But it's a similar feeling coming from above us.
Possibly there was a battle here, and lads were lost. But that would have been a long time ago, right?
I don't know how all of this works. This is much more your area of expertise.
Don't know what to say. I might. I'll carry
be
on.
okay with you, but maybe I should wait on the stairs.
That's fine. We could do with a lookout anyway.
Okay, I'm gonna stay put where we're at on the stairs. Let everyone go past.
Alrighty. So Triss, you kind of hold position. So Braxton, you're going to kind of continue up the way.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So it doesn't take you too long to reach the kind of the exits point of this staircase, and as you emerge, you can see straight away that your suspicions were correct. You are very much on the peak of one of these mountains, and you can see quite a substantial bridge of stone stretching between the two peaks. However, you can see that this bridge is really not structurally sound. The stonework is cracked in numerous places. Clearly, up here, it's exposed to a lot of environmental weathering from presumably quite high winds. But you can see on the other side, this kind of minaret-like structure stands. But yes, you are going to have to brave that bridge.
Okay. Perhaps it's best I try this alone. Don't need to take more risks than we need to.
How far is the bridge across?
At an estimate, you'd probably say about 120 feet, perhaps.
Okay. So, no point securing a rope, do you? If you fell, you'd just splat.
Yes.
Okay, so Braxton, the bridge as you approach does not inspire confidence in you, but you tentatively place a foot onto the stone, and it holds. So you keep going slowly and steadily, and despite maybe a few creaks and maybe a pebble or two coming loose, this bridge again is, for the time being, supporting your weight. So you get about 15 feet out. The rest of you stand fast. Triss, who's kind of still in the staircase watching beneath. You kind of watch Braxton go, and it's quite a nerve-wracking thing just observing this. But you can see that he is steadily forging onwards. Braxton, the wind now is starting to pick up as you kind of move out further onto the bridge, away from the kind of a shielding of the mountain. But you keep moving forward, just 1 foot after the next. Try not to look down, kind of thing. It seems that so far, despite the kind of the appearance of the bridge, the main structure is solid enough to at least support you. So you keep going till you're about 30 feet across. At which point, roll me a perception.
18.
So, in your efforts not to look down, you see a glint of silver kind of appear in the sky, and you manage to kind of hurl yourself backwards as this bolt just impacts with the bridge and explodes, just taking a good chunk of what remained of a kind of guardrail with it. And as you look up, you see what appears to be a trio of black winged figures descending on you. Everybody roll initiative.
Ooh. Do I also have to? Am I like within hearing distance of them?
Yeah, you would be.
Ooh. Ooh.
Wow.
Might want to lock the board.
Yeah, will be. Okay.
Fallen Cherubim of Ador.
A door.
Need to get some tags for those, actually.
Just move that, but I don't know where I moved it to. Which side are we all on?
The ones furthest away from my DM screen.
Okay.
Braxton obviously being in the kind of first third of the bridge.
Is this grid the right size? Or?
Yep. It's about 10-foot wide bridge. Oh, both rolled the same. Might speed things up. Did I just delete that? Ah, no, there it is.
Oh shit. That's big.
Yeah, let me just adjust these to the right size. That is about right. So yeah, these kind of come swooping down from heaven, so they're currently flying, but I don't really have an accurate way of depicting that. Cool, I might just quickly nip blue, so if you want to metagame, now would be the time.
Don't get hurt.
Yeah, let's kill these things.
When he says metagame, did he mean blindly panic? Because I could definitely do that.
Oh, yeah.
So this is, well, I mean, Adoa was the god of the underworld, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So these are fallen servants of Adoa?
Seems that way.
Flying, not falling, mate.
So this Adoa keeps making appearances. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's maybe something we need to think about a little bit more. I just sort of dismissed that a little bit.
Maybe we can reach out to him. You know, if we take care of these fallen creatures, maybe he might appreciate it.
Oh, good plan. Okay. Let's not die.
Yeah. Well, I mean that was the number one kind of idea that I had there. But I felt it went without saying, you know.
I mean, if he is the god of the underworld, if one of us was to die, we could go have a chat.
Yeah.
I don't think they were fond of me, so dibs not dying.
Well, I mean, you gave them a nice gift.
Oh, true. Actually, yeah. Maybe they won't hate me anymore. Shit.
I've already had a character death while running along some exposed bridge. I don't fancy having another one.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Oh god.
As long as none of these guys has got fucking disintegrating rays
Yeah.
shooting out. Mind you, their eyes are glowing a little bit. I'm not too sure about that.
They look scary. I won't lie.
Nah, just fucking clip their wings, watch them go falling into the ocean.
I completely misspelled Adoa.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, every name I misspell, and then Crispy brings it out, and I'm like, ah.
Well, fucking like Wolfus. I spelled it as
Oh, yeah.
Wolfus.
With a TH. Wolf.
Yeah, but it's actually yeah, I spelled it with an F, but it's actually a TH.
Vultus.
Half of it, I'm sure, though, is just Crispy forgetting. And then, like, whatever new spelling he comes up with is actually the new way of doing it. Yeah.
It's now canon.
Like, next thing we find out Conrad is spelt with a fucking K instead of a C. Oh.
A Y in there somewhere.
Of a silent P.
Yeah.
Conrad.
I might just start putting a silent P before every name that he gives me.
One of these days I'll be right.
Oric, Braxton, Pavel. Imagine it makes sense with a T, I guess. You can have a silent P before a T.
That would be a Toric thing to do as well. Like, just imagine him saying the P is silent.
Toric with a P, the P is silent. Why is it? Why?
Like a fucking Django Unchained moment. Can you spell it? P-T-O-R-R-I-C-K. P is silent.
Torek looking as shit because his name doesn't have a P in it at Starbucks.
Oh, that fucking Stephen with a PH.
As you can tell, our preparations are going well, Crispy.
Yeah. So
Oh, Crispy, I have sent you a link to a workshop item that might help you represent flying creatures.
quite possibly, yeah, that'd be a good little thing. I'll play around with that later.
Well, I've gone the opposite direction to everyone else in a hurry.
I don't think you have to restart the game to add them in.
Probably. Well, I'll
Find out.
keep going for the time being. So Havel, you kind of see Braxton leap back, and then this kind of bolt just blow away a chunk of a bridge. And as you look up, you can again see this kind of trio of dark figures descending from on high, and you're the first to react.
Oric, you're not on the initiative tracker.
Oh my god, I haven't rolled initiative.
Sorry, takes no initiative.
Sorry.
Let's see what your rolls in.
It's alright, you're at the bottom.
Yes.
Here's
my new Alchemist always go first ability.
Julie's not well.
No, I'm not done. Braxton.
If nothing changes, eh?
Okay, so yeah, now we've got Guy sorted. Jason, first turn of a battle.
Okay. I'm assuming we're not going to be chatting things out with you, gentlemen. So I'll keep things reasonably simple, he says. I'll use some iridium arrows. What I'm going to do for that first one is I'll use volley, and the 10-point mark will be between number 2 and the middle one. This one, these two. So I'll put like that's my marker. So I get to fire a shot at both of them. So just roll them together, or do you want to do them separately?
Separately, do the showroom first.
And does a 28 hit?
Yep, 28 would hit.
Sick. Do you want me to roll for the other one and then do damage afterwards, or just damage on that one now?
Let's keep it in
Separate.
order. Let's do the damage on that first.
Okay.
As ridiculous as it is every time Jason says, does a 28 hit? Like, there is a part of me that stops.
Waiting for it to be like, no.
Yeah. Like, my sphincter just tightens ever so slightly until Crispy says, yeah, that hits. And then I'm like,
I think Havel is like the dipping stick of like, if he can't easily hit a target, that's when you run, kind of thing.
yeah.
Oh, so I could get between proficiency and the thingy. I'm going to get plus 10 on this now.
Jesus.
So 15 damage.
Mhm.
And on the second one, that will be 24.
That hits.
Sweet. 13 damage.
13 damage, okay.
And bonus action, because I forgot to do it earlier, I will do... I'll try and check out the fly archer guys first. I'll do... What's it called? Hunter's Mark on the second cherubim.
Alrighty. So you loose these arrows up into the sky, because they're kind of diving at you headlong. They don't really have all too much time. You can see the kind of the larger of the creatures has quite thick plate, and the arrow doesn't embed too far into it. The other one, you kind of catch it in a wing, and it kind of pulls up a little bit, kind of slows its dive down. But he recovers quite quickly, and he is going to fire 2 of his 3 attacks at you, Havel. So I'll roll those.
Yay!
So that's okay. So that's going to be an 18, which is your AC, isn't it? So
yep,
1 hit from that,
and then I get plus 4 on
any
the next
ones?
attack from it. Yeah.
Okay, so that is going to be 15 damage from that arrow. So yeah, this I think how you notice is considerably larger than a regular arrow. It's kind of like a halfway between like a ballista bolt and an arrow. But you notice the design is surprisingly intricate. There's significant flair being given to each of these arrows. You don't really have much time to think about that as you kind of get your head down, try and take a bit of cover. As this thing fires its 3rd arrow, it's going to be at Braxton. However, Braxton, your shields that you kind of raised on reacting to that first arrow blocks this attack.
Nice.
And although it's a fairly hefty thud, you keep your shield up, and this arrow kind of skitters away across the bridge harmlessly. Kind of those shots being fired, the creature kind of pulls up a little bit and swerves out. The other one, however, kind of continues its dive a little further forward. And this time it is going to fire, and it's going to be 3 shots, 1 at Rulin, 1 at Torek, and 1 at Triss. So Rulin, we'll do yours first. So you see it coming and manage to get out of the way pretty easily. It's a fairly long-range shot, so you have a bit of time to react, and this thing kind of ricochets off the stone where you were stood. Tarek. A little less aware as Rulin, you are caught back by what Rulin appears to be dodging. You soon find out as this bolt just kind of impacts you just below your left knee. So 14 damage there.
Oof. Take that down. I'm not doing anything in reaction.
And then finally, Triss. Uh, 23. So Triss, again, kind of having been looking down this staircase, you weren't as sharp to react as the others who'd kind of seen these guys coming. So you take an arrow to the back. For 13 damage. But yeah, these things kind of pull up out of their dive and are hovering roughly about 15, 20 feet above the kind of level of the bridge. And Rulin, you're up.
So how high is this one flying?
That one's probably about 30 feet.
Not much choice here. I will draw my bow. Let me just equip it. Yes, I do have arrows as well. That's good. And there's not much else I can do. And the fucking flying. Okay. I'll run up to Braxton and I will take aim at this guy and fire 2 shots with the recurve bow. Let's roll them up together.
Yeah.
That's a 16 and then 29.
Hit and a miss.
Damage would be... Oh, shit, pretty bow. 11 damage on that.
11 damage. Okay, so you fire an arrow at this thing, but the wind quite quickly takes it off course. So you adjust your next shot and manage to clip this thing. Clearly not quite as heavily armored as its kind of larger companion. You kind of hit it in the midriff and it appears to penetrate.
Oh, maybe try something. I will... Well, first, I can't actually do what I was thinking of doing because even though it says Fallen Cherubim of Adoa, I don't actually know that, do I? Yeah.
Not quite, no. That's not very apparent.
Looks like I was just going to shout instead of tell him he's making his god very angry, but it doesn't matter. And then I will bonus action patient defense. So I'll take the dodge action for 1 key.
Alrighty.
That's it. That's all I can do. Can't fucking reach him to pummel his face in. I mean, I could just take a giant leap off the side, but
That could go very poorly, depending on whether the dice want to cooperate.
That's the thing.
John Williams committed.
And monks are renowned for being able to fall from great heights, but I think even this might be stretching it.
Yeah, off a mountaintop is going to be testing that to the limits.
Yeah. I think they do say though, just take us out of it for a sec, but once a monk reaches level 17, I think they basically become invincible to fall damage, because the way that fall damage is calculated, like the maximum damage that you can take is like 70 something points. I think like even like 1,000 feet fall would only net like 70 points of damage or something. Oh, that's the average. And a monk can pretty much, with using like the slow falling, can pretty much just ignore all of that. Maybe take very, very minimal damage from something like that.
To be honest, when you frame it like that, it makes me realise that Titus has been immune to falling all this time because he's just so goddamn tanky.
Well, yeah, there is that as well. You can't just be so massive HP wise that you just ignore it. I guess it's DM's discretion. You can, it takes the realism out of it. If you're going to fall 1,000 feet and only take 70 damage, doesn't really make sense.
Oh, that'd be the
you should just be
greatest
turned
way
into a pancake, really. Like,
that'd be the greatest way to punish metagaming. Just like, I can definitely survive this. Just like,
that's it, yeah. But in terms of vanilla D&D, the way that fall damage is calculated, that is like, I guess, well, it's terminal velocity as well. It doesn't matter if you fall from 1,000 feet or 200 feet. Once you reach terminal velocity, that's what's going to do you. Okay,
yeah,
sorry. Back to the game.
Is falling damage bludgeoning?
Yeah.
Depends what you land on, I guess.
Depends what you land on, yeah.
Okay, cool. So no movement or anything or further than that. Just going to back Braxton up.
Yeah, just hanging out there.
Cool. So the Seraph here is going to continue at altitude. And Braxton, you see kind of in its hands materialize a large, almost spear of, from what you can see, some kind of coursing black energy. And this thing is just going to hurl this at you. And that is going to be a 20. So you, again, just keep this shield up. And this just kind of hits the center of it and kind of explodes outwards. And whatever forces behind that bolt's just being kind of redirected around you. You see kind of tendrils of it just kind of strike some of the stones on the side of the bridge and just blow them off. But other than, again, a pretty damn hard knock, you managed to get away from that unscathed. But the creature is then, for its bonus action, going to point out to you, Braxton. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom, that is a 22.
Cool, so nothing happens.
I don't like these saving throw spells. They get pretty scary after like 4th level.
Okay, so again, the thing keeps its altitude, so it's kind of hovering menacingly above you. But Triss, you've obviously now, after that first arrow, become aware of the situation.
Okay. 5, 10, 15. I'm gonna sort of edge myself onto like this side so I can get a bit of a view past Rulin and Braxton, and I'm gonna flash the eyeball at them. And then I'm gonna aim at this fella right at the back here, number 2, and give him, or attempt to give him, 3 Eldritch Blasts.
Okay, so the eyeball shows you that you're dealing with these creatures that are clearly of celestial origin, but it appears that their aura now is more unholy than holy. You do notice, though, that it seems to draw a bit of a reaction as these creatures see what you're doing.
Oh shit. Critical failure, 17 and 21.
So that's one hit, and then we'll do the crit fail afterwards.
Okay.
Just thinking of who stood right in front of Triss, but
Yeah. Yep. That's 15 damage.
15 damage already. Yeah, so you fire the one bolt off. It kind of goes past the angel, but the second one hits. As you go to try to hammer home your advantage, Chris, you kind of step out a little bit to kind of try and get a little more of a good angle on this thing. But you step on something which just crumbles. The stone gives way, and as you kind of rush to steady yourself, your aim goes awry, and you manage to just pelt Braxton right in the back of his plate. So roll me the damage, please.
Oh shit. Oh god. Oh shit, no, ignore that, I've hit the wrong dice. 6 damage.
6 damage, Braxton. Got off
10.
reasonably lightly there.
Crispy's
What did I
monsters
do?
can't hit Braxton, but Triss can.
It's can, yeah.
Sorry, Braxton.
Oh, he doesn't have a shield on his back. Clearly, that's his error.
So
Toric
Chris
makes
realised.
note. Ooh, back shield.
Make you some kind of shield knight, just like welded a shield onto every direction.
Like a one-man tortoise formation.
Yes. You seem like a Leonardo da Vinci's tank.
Yes.
That's
But
dude,
you're-
bro. Alrighty, so speaking of Torek, it is your turn.
Because I just pictured Torek sat on his shoulders operating the turret. Like, spin it around, fire the next cannon, spin it, fire the next one.
Cool. I am going to probably just use my spell time to just do a ranged attack, start it off easy.
Cool, who are you targeting?
I'm going to be targeting the one that shot at me here, the cherubim.
Sure. Roll up.
I'm going to make it a level 2 Ray of Sickness, I think.
Sure.
Cool, so that's 25 to hit.
That hits.
Cool. We'll do 2d8 plus 5 damage. Oh! I got him good!
Alrighty, so what's that? 21. Is that necrotic? Rare sickness?
I
Or is
am
it
just. I believe it is poison. Yeah, sorry, it had the little skull and crossbones.
Yeah.
So I have to hover over it to make sure it's poison. Oh, and take a Constitution saving throw.
That's the dark thing.
That is going to be 17.
Failed by 1. Now that my con save limit is 18. On a failed save, it also becomes poisoned.
Alright.
Got him really good.
Toric doing an effective attack?
This shouldn't happen. I did like what Havel every turn.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Anything else, Guy? Any bonus actions or movement?
I think I'm sitting pretty. Maybe I'll actually step out this way just in case they have something AoE to throw at Havel. Oh, maybe I shouldn't stay so close to the edge. Ooh. That thought pattern goes through Toric's head as he steps that he's like, ooh.
Gets a little dizzy looking down.
Yeah. I like the thought of Torek being a little afraid of heights.
All right. In which case, it brings us on to Braxton.
Here we go. The melee specialist. Woohoo. Luckily, I've got some javelins. So I'm going to take out a javelin. I'm going to cast the level 2 concentration spell, Branding Smite, because that specifies a weapon attacker, not a melee weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to chuck this javelin at cherubim number 1.
Okay, rolled up.
Nice. 25.
Yep, that connects.
So that's a melee hit. So 1d6 plus. That's 3d6. Plus 3, so that's 15 damage.
Cool. So this javelin kind of hits again with this kind of boom as the divine energy is channeled into this creature, and it kind of falls a few feet before it manages to regain its composure.
With 2 attacks per turn, can you throw 2 javelins in a turn?
Yeah. If you've got 2 javelins to throw.
Yeah, I've got 4 left now, so let's throw another one. That's a 16.
Wary of this new angle of attack, the second javelin is evaded with a small roll.
Cool. I'm going to stay where I'm stood, and that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Pavel.
Yeah. So in terms of flight height, what's the distance between these two?
So this one's probably about 10 foot higher than the other one.
So they're still about 10 feet from each other.
Not if you believe in Pythagoras.
But if it's like a... How does it work, Ollie? Is it not like anything in a 10-foot sphere? I can't remember what it says, actually, off the top of my head.
If the radius is 10 foot, you should be alright, right?
Volley... It just says within 10 feet of a point that you can see.
Yeah, so that covers 20 feet from side to side.
Yeah, if it's a point, then yeah, you can manage it.
Sweet. And I also forgot to... Oh, shit. Bollocks. Actually, no, I can do it. Because I forgot to use my second attack last round anyway. So I'll use volley on these two.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do the Seraph first. Iridium arrows again.
Okay.
Just in case. 28. I'm going to say that hits.
Yep, that's a hit.
And that is 16 damage.
Yep, these iridium tips seem to be doing their work.
And then for the cherubim, that one's only a 16.
And that is a miss.
There. And then for the actual second attack action, I'll just fire one at the second cherubim all the way over here.
Uh-huh.
That is... it's only a 19.
Another miss. A bit of a long shot, that one. And with the high winds, you're a bit wide of your mark, but not by masses.
Damn it. Is there actually a statue here, or is this just on the board?
So that's kind of the start of the bridge is like an arch with a statue over the top of it.
Okay, I'll just kind of like half cover, get a little something between me and them.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my turn.
Alrighty, so the two sheriffs. So this one's going to move forward a little bit. And it's actually going to fire 2 of its shots at you, Triss, and then 1 at Rulin. So I'll do Triss first. Just roll them at the same time because there's no advantage. So that's going to be what? 21.
Is this cherubim 1 or 2?
2.
Okay.
So that's 2 hits for Triss. I'll roll that up. So 17 damage for that.
Could have been worse.
And then Rulin. That's a miss. So again, you managed to evade this arrow.
Cool.
And then the other one is poisoned, so he's going to be moving a bit slow. He's actually going to fall back a bit. He's going to climb 10 feet as well. So he's kind of roughly on par with the Seraph at the moment. He's going to make some attacks. He's going to make 1 against you, Torek, 1 against Havel, and 1 against Braxton. The Torek poisons disadvantage. That's a miss. Havel. Ooh, okay. We'll do his next one against Braxton, then we'll sort that out. And it misses Braxton. So Havel, the shot fired against you. He misses, and the arrow kind of sticks into the cover you're hiding behind, and you're able to kind of withdraw this arrow for potential use of your own.
Ooh, fancy arrow. Cool.
And that is going to be all they're going to accomplish so far. So Rulin, you're up.
So this guy's still floating about 30 feet up.
Yeah.
This guy's taking the most amount of punishment, hasn't he?
He seems to be suffering a bit, yeah.
I'll take a couple of shots at this dude then.
Mm-hmm.
Cherubim Vador. That's an 18 and a 16.
So it's going to be 2 misses. As he pulls back, the shot becomes harder to take, and you see this creature react as the arrows come in. He's clearly on the lookout for ranged attacks after that last volley he got from everybody.
Oh. Well, not much else I can do. Nope. Nothing else. I'll spend another key point and do dodge again. Which also should have had disadvantage, I guess, but doesn't really matter. He missed anyway when he attacked.
He was poisoned. He had disadvantage. So.
Oh, was it him that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right, gotcha. Yeah. No, that's it then. I'll dodge again.
Cool.
Turn over. I'm not going to move up until this guy gets a bit lower.
Yep. Okay, so the Seraph as a bonus action is going to cast Staggering Smite. So that's concentration, and then he is going to just come in a kind of charging dive down at you, Braxton. You see in its hand a kind of burning swords of sorts. And he brings us down an attack against you. In fact, all his attacks will be against you, so I'll just roll them up.
No.
Oof.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So that's going to be 3 hits, I'm afraid, there. One of which will be a branding smite. So let me work out just how many dice that is going to be.
Oh no.
Spoiler alert, it's quite a lot. Okay, so I'll do the damage first, and then I'll do the smites.
It's not.
29 plus 18, so 47, and then the smites. Another 16 on top of that. So what's that? 63 damage total. And then I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 18, please.
Oh, that's a 17.
Okay, so Braxton, as this kind of attack hits you, you feel just this kind of unholy energy wash over you, kind of disorientating your mind and fuddling your senses. So for until the end of your next turn, you're going to have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks, and you're going to be unable to take reactions.
Okay.
Alrighty, let me just work out what health you're on now. What's that? 52.
52 I got, yeah.
To be honest, I rolled very fucking high on those
Really,
damage
really
dice as
hurt.
well.
Yeah.
So yeah, the rest of you just watch as this creature just descends on Braxton and just delivers just this absolutely colossal blow, followed up by a series of kind of smaller but lightning fast attacks as he staggers from the initial charge. Chris.
Yeah, I'm not impressed with seeing this happen. I'm gonna try and cast Finger of Death on the Seraph there in the middle. He's got to pass a Con 18.
Con 18.
Yo, that's a big gun, right?
Yeah.
He passes.
Shit.
It's the shit.
Takes. Hold
Oh
on.
well, yeah, she passes.
Half as much damage. All right. Okay. Let me roll up and yeah, he can get his half damage. Hold on. What did I just say? That was 78. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops. $27 plus. Hold on.
So like 13 or 14 if we round up.
It's plus 30 as well, so I'm just adding.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
So it'll be 29 then, won't it?
29.
29 what damage type is that? Finger of Death. Is that necrotic?
Necrotic.
More damage than me on a miss.
Okay, Triss, you point this bolt out of this creature as it's hammering away at Braxton. However, you see that this creature's armor, as it gets hit by this wave of necrotic energy, you see the skulls, the eyes just start to light up.
Oh, fuck.
Oh no.
Oh, I fucked up big style. Oh,
How dare you ask me if I did necrotic damage? No, I use all my stuff is organic. Unlike Triss, she supermarket buys.
Oh no. I'm gonna just take a step or two back. I feel like this is gonna be really, really fucking bad. And in fact, actually, I'm gonna go as far as to cast Far Step, which is a bonus action. Let me hold on. Let me just see whether I get that spell slot back as well.
Yep.
No. I'm gonna just tuck myself. Is there like a ledge somewhere here?
You've got kind of where the steps would lead back down into the temple. Should probably give you the best cover.
Okay, where are they at? Sorry.
Just towards the edge of the map there.
That's where I'm gonna
So,
just tuck myself. This is not gonna be
Okay.
good.
Braxton, you watch as this kind of wave of kind of necrotic energy washes over this creature, but it just appears to fuel its aggression towards you.
Cheers, Tris.
I have fucked up so much.
Auric, you're up.
Just looking at one of my new spells, I was like, that does a lot of damage. Necrotic.
Yeah, put it away.
No, I'm good. I'm good, homie. Shit. I need to really put some debuffs on this main Seraph, huh? Maybe I could try poisoning her. Do the same again with the Ray of Sickness, because a disadvantage on attack checks is very powerful. So I'm going to try for a Ray of Sickness on her, level 2.
Sure. That's a con save or an attack roll.
It is an attack roll followed by a con save if it hits.
Okay, yeah.
So that'll be 22 to hit.
That's a miss.
Oh! Uh-huh.
This creature's thick plate swirling with energy seems to negate the ray.
That was one team. You become a regular.
I like to imagine that Toric's Ray of Sickness is kind of like those fucking KGB directed energy attacks they use on like embassy guests and stuff. Just fry them with microwaves or something.
He used to be team captain.
Yeah.
They say it was
Ray of
organic.
Cancer.
Right, Hamilton. That's as smug as you like.
Yeah, so no effect from that then.
Okay, but I feel that people are going to need me on that line there, so I'm going to won't jump that corner. Actually, nah. I was just thinking, I've got a +9. What's the worst that could happen? The worst that happens is in that one, and I die. 2, 3, 4, 5 behind Roland. And I guess I'm going to end my action being like, if you want a potion, take it!
Okay.
And then I end my turn.
Alrighty, so Braxton's kind of still reeling from that first hit. So you kind of put aside this kind of wave of kind of evil energy in your mind. A quick battle prayer steadies your soul against this creature. You kind of keep your shield raised and ready your answer.
Yeah, that hurt. It's drinking a potion, a bonus action.
Yeah.
Cool. I drink my greater healing potion.
Uh-huh.
Let me check that. That's what I've got. So it's 4d4 plus 4.
Mm-hmm. So 12.
Yeah, that looks a bit nicer.
Yep, so you kind of chug that and kind of toss the flask down to kind of hear Torix kind of, no, I could have used that.
I could have given you a better one. And then, since this thing so kindly landed in front of me, I'm swinging the Sunforger on it twice.
Okay, cool, roll them up.
19 and a 29.
19 and 29. Okay, so you kind of bring the Sunforger down, and this blade of fire just parries this first attack. However, you then kind of feint dropping the hammer, and as this creature kind of grins and raises its blade, you use its ability to reappear in your hand and just bring the hammer kind of in an upwards arc and catch it across the chin. So roll me the damage.
And he's getting a level 3 smite as well. Why not? $35 damage.
35 damage, okay.
And most of it is radiant,
Yep.
if that makes a difference.
So you, kind of catch this creature just square across the jaw, and as this impacts, you just feel something crunch, and this brilliant burst of energy just emits from the striking face of a hammer. Creature kind of stumbles back, and you see it actually kind of gives itself a few flaps of its wings to kind of stabilize and keep itself on its footing. And you see the kind of the glowing skulls of its armor start to flicker a little bit.
Nice. And that's the end of my turn.
Uh-huh. Okay, so Havel.
No point going for you. So looking at this one, it was taking a bit. How is he looking, like visually? Is he pretty?
It's hard to really tell from the distance and the fact that it's a celestial.
Fair point. Looking at the arrow I pulled out, can I see anything like visually special about it, or is it just...
Yeah, so this seems to be of a kind of a material you're not familiar with, but it is a kind of brilliant silver. You can see the arrowheads actually, instead of having your traditional barbs, they extend and form an almost kind of counter rotating helix around the shaft of the arrow. At least for about 20 centimeters, but because it's a larger arrow than normal, you'd be able to kind of fit that in your bow with no issue.
You know what? I'm not going to use it. I will stow it for now. How am I looking on Iridium? Oh yeah, already used. It's still awesome. Yeah, that's plenty. Yeah, because this one's the one I've got Hunter's Mark on. Turban number 2. I think I'd just personally go for that one. So 2 shots directly at his face. 21 for both.
Yeah, it's enough to do it, actually.
Oh yeah. Uh, 31 damage.
31 damage. Alrighty.
And there's not really much else I can do at the moment, so that'll be it for me.
Okay. So you stick out from cover and loose some arrows to good effect. Okay, so I forgot the poison thing guy. Do the creatures affected by that roll con at the end of their turns for seeing if that's still affected?
I haven't found anything that says that. I think it's a case of it needs to be hit by a lesser restoration to heal it. But
okay.
It doesn't say anything under the spell or...
Yeah, if it doesn't say it, then yeah,
area.
it won't be. Okay, cool. In which case that one's still going to be
It's
firing.
very powerful.
Yeah, it's going to be firing at disadvantage, so it's going to...
Sorry to spoil the party, guy. But the Ray of Sickness spell description says it's poisoned until the end of your next turn.
Oh. Oh! Okay.
Ah, right, okay. In which case,
So it's
that'll
actually
be...
gone at this timing.
Yeah,
That'd be
that'll be right.
stupidly powerful if it was forever.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
that would
just
be
get,
very,
like,
very powerful.
Get
Thanks
any
for
party
pointing
that
that
doesn't
out.
have a cleric or something, and yeah. Okay, so it's going to actually climb again. So that's probably looking at about 40 feet now, and move forwards for a kind of a more top-down angle on the battle. So it's going to fire a shot at Braxton, a shot at Rule, and a shot at Torek. So Braxton will do you first. No, you're good. Doesn't connect. Rulin, you're dodging, so disadvantage. However, it's not a crit, but that is going to connect at 21.
I'll if you
Yeah,
roll up your damage,
basically
I'll
the
do
damage.
I'll do my reaction, which I've not been able to do for fucking ever.
Yep,
Of,
so
deflect missile. Oh,
14 damage that would have done.
it's automatic, reduced to 0 because it's a D10 plus 18.
Yep,
So
sorted there.
and
Holy crap.
I will spend 1 key point. I'll throw it back.
Okay,
Now,
so
this is something that I've always wondered, and no matter where I look, there's never like a clear clarification. When it says
like
make a
range or something.
ranged attack, is it like as if I'm throwing it, or do I use the same stats that he used to fire it at me? Or
I think
like,
it would be as if you're throwing it.
yeah. In which case, it would just be I don't know what my fucking throwing stats are. It'd be plus dex, I guess. wouldn't it?
Dex, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll throw it back at him.
Cool. So roll it up.
And obviously, whatever type of ammunition it is as well.
Yeah,
If
sure.
it has any.
That's not damage.
That's 18.
So you don't quite manage to hit him. It's a decent way up, and it has time to kind of see what happens after you catch it, and it takes evasive actions before you can return the favour. And then 1 against Tarek. This one misses. You're a small target, and he's kind of firing top down. So as you kind of scamper around, the arrow just devastates a section of a bridge next to you, but you avoid getting skewered. And then the next one, again, that's going to move up just to try and get shots on you guys at the back here. So thinking that you're fleeing Triss, he is going to attempt to stop you with 2 shots and then put the third into Havel. So we'll do Triss first.
Oof.
Could be 2 hits.
Yeah, oh god.
29 damage there, Triss.
Old Firetooth isn't looking too hot.
Not the best.
And then 1 against Havel. Who is also going to get hit. For 14 damage for Havel.
Of the 2 of these, I think we know which one's been practicing.
Yeah, the other one hasn't had all too much luck. But Rulin, you're up. So you can kind of start to see that you guys are getting flanked on this bridge a little bit.
Okay. It's not really room for me to move up though, is there? Because Braxton's holding like the center. So it's only like...
Yeah, it's not a particularly wide bridge.
Yeah.
It's about 10 feet in places, but...
Could I
yeah, the
move...
grid doesn't really fit very well in this.
Could I move... Could I potentially get past them?
Yeah, you'd be able to skirt around it. Again, the base of these things isn't obviously very
Yeah.
it's maybe too clear, but you could probably move around the thing. it is busy fighting Braxton.
Yeah. But we also need to take these fuckers out. Fuck it. I'm just going to stick with this one for now. Braxton can tank that bastard for now. Yeah, alright. Fire 2 shots at this cherubim.
Okay.
Seeing as he has taken a bit of a beating already. Come on. That's more like it. Yeah.
Okay, hitting a crit.
Okay, let's just roll them all up together. Damage isn't fantastic, unfortunately, but it's only a d6. So that's 3d6 plus 12. 22 damage on that.
2 damage already. So just fire a salvo of not rockets. Why did I say rockets?
Rocket. Yeah, I'll fire rockets if you want me to. Yeah. What should we call that? The 10d20?
Way too much. Yeah. Fire a volley of arrows up at this, and you managed to get some pretty good hits on this thing. You can see the armor's penetrated in a couple of places. Kind of hear a kind of hiss of pain from this thing.
Yeah, you little bastard. Actually, I'll do that. I'll shout at him. I'll call him a bastard. You bastard. Come on. Look at me. And he understands me, no matter what.
Yeah. So
Because
it's
of that tongue of sun and moon.
yeah, you can not really gauge expression too well, but you suppose there's probably a fair bit of hatred there in that face.
It's okay, that's what I want. I want to draw his attention. And then, once again, I'll dodge with a key point.
Uh-huh.
Oh. I'll also... Yeah, fuck it. I'll move as well and get up behind this guy.
Okay. So if he's going to use one of his attacks to kind of try and hit you as you go by, Rulin. So roll out disadvantage. But still hits.
Okay.
So that is going to be... Let me roll it up. So 18 damage there.
Okay. At least it's not hitting Braxton.
It is then going to use its bonus action again to use another staggering smite, and then it is going to attack Braxton.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So what's that? 16, so that's a miss, and a 21, so just manages to connect one of them. Now that it's kind of trying to fight two opponents, it's less able to focus, but it does manage to get a smaller blow, but a blow nonetheless. So that's going to be 17 damage, and then I'll do the smites. So what's that? 31 damage there.
I was thinking it's after last time. I'm not going to change the first round. But the smite, branding smite, not branding smite, whatever that one was called.
Staggering smites, yeah.
Does that count as magical damage? Because I got resistance to that.
It says psychic damage, so
I think it's from. God, it had a specific wording. Let me look again. Damage from spells. But since it's applied on the attack, I don't know if it counts as a damage from spell or just damage.
Well, smite is a spell, isn't it? Because you're casting it on your weapon, basically, and then if you hit someone with your weapon, it causes the damage.
Yeah, I would argue that is that would be a spell.
Okay, so I'll half the
okay, so
smite damage. So what was the weapon damage?
Weapon damage was 17.
17. So then I'll add 7.
Yeah, plus 7 to that.
So 24 damage.
24 damage in total. Okay, yeah. So the blow wasn't as strong as its previous onslaught. Again, it seems to be busy now, trying to fend off Ruland too, but it still catches you enough force to do some harm. Press, you're up.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20. I am going to cast Psychic Crush on the Seraph.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got to succeed on an Intelligence 18 throw.
Alrighty. He fails that.
Oh, that's what we like. Let me just double check what I'm doing.
Because it's a nat 1, I won't use a legendary resistance.
12, d6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh shit, I've run out of count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Would you make a note of that? And I'll add the other 3.
27, okay.
Plus 13.
So 40 in total there.
So that's his damage.
Okay.
And then my bonus action's still in, so I'm going to just boop myself with fast step over to the far side here.
Okay.
And that's me. Yeah, that was psychic damage if it has
Yeah.
any.
Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. Torek, you're up.
Okay, then. Gonna move up behind Braxton. How's he looking?
Worse than he was when he started the fight.
That's a given. Yeah. Well, I'm within reach if he wants to take the healing potion off me that I've crafted up. I'm just trying to think if there's something I can inflict on the enemy to just slow it down. God, if only there was something opposing haste where it's just slow. I could try and haste them, but I think that'd be a really bad idea because I'm getting hit by that archer. I think I'm just going to try and shoot Cherub number 1 again with a Ray of Sickness.
Uh-huh.
Once more. It seems to be working for me. 22.
That's a hit.
Cool. 2d8 plus 5 damage. And a con save or poisoned until end of my next turn.
Alright, I'll do the con save.
As a grown man.
So that is a pass on the con save. What's total damage?
So that was 9 plus 5, so 14 poison damage.
Alrighty. So this thing clearly kind of hurting after that. You see its kind of wing beats are becoming slightly irregular and weaker. It's kind of drifting lower. It's still kind of clutching its bow.
Okay. I'll end my turn there then as well. Just within support range of Braxton in case he needs me.
Yeah, sure. Speaking of which, it is now Braxton's turn.
As it is.
If you need it, big boy.
You said take one if I need it?
Yeah. I imagine like I imagine I'm like casting the spell with one hand and I'm holding up a healing potion with the other.
Well, in that case, would that still count as a bonus action?
Yeah, free action I'd say would be taking it from him and bonus
Free to
drink.
take bonus drink. Cool. How much does this one heal then, Gan?
Let me just remind myself of those numbers real quick. It'll be 2d4 plus my intelligence and then give you some temporary hit points on top.
Okay.
So 2d4 plus 5.
So 10.
So it healed 10, and then it on top of that, it's going to give you 2d6 plus 5 temporary hit points.
Yeah.
So 13 temporaries.
No, not from the customers, from the builders. Any rude.
All
I
right.
just thought that the temporary hit points are just like, oh wow, I feel good, just to give the
I see
impression
what
the healing potion is working better than it is.
Yeah, that's nice. I feel nicely invigorated to swing my hammer a couple of times now.
Little something to keep the customers coming back, hey, Tarek.
Yeah.
Wait, this one doesn't have side effects, does it?
I think it's only his potions of boldness that have medically documented side effects.
I'm worried about the undocumented ones. Right. Yeah, 2 swings at the big guy.
Mhm.
Have you noticed food going missing and things being moved around?
14
miss.
and 26. Yeah. He's going to get another level 3 because he deserves it.
Been a good boy.
So that's 28 damage.
28 damage. Okay. Was that, sorry, with the smite damage in there as well?
Yeah.
How much of that was radiant?
I might as well call the 7 from the weapon. So then 6, 9, 12, 15, 16. Yeah, 16 was radiant.
Okay. So another big strike from your hammer on this thing as it kind of turns to try and strike Rulin.
Oh yeah, that's the end of my go.
All right, so Howell, again, you're still in a fairly decent position in terms of cover from the first cherub, but you are now starting to get flanked by the second one.
Oh, dare he. Have a quick look at this. Yep. Okay, I've just look at my spells. Well, I guess I will ping 2 at cherub number 2.
Uh-huh.
Using Iridium, of course.
Only the finest.
23 and a 25.
Both hit.
Let's see what we can do. Plus 20, so 40.
All right, so how do you want to do it, Havel?
Oh, I mean, he's flying, so Havel's just going to be aiming centre mass, really. Going for that chest shots in it.
Okay, so the kind of bodkin iridium tips make short work of this thing's fairly light armor, and you kind of put these 2 arrows within about 3 inches of each other, directly through this thing's breastplate. You see its eyes just kind of extinguish almost, and it falls away, quickly dropping into the mountain below.
Excellent. And as bonus action, because it died, I will transfer my Hunter's Mark to the other cherub for a later date. And then that's me.
Okay. So, seeing its companion get dropped, this one is going to tear down towards you, Havel, and fire both. Sorry, not both, all 3 of its arrows at you. So what's that? Lowest there's going to be a 19. So all 3 hits. This thing just kind of comes down, just notches just all 3 of them in the same volley, and just when he gets to about 10 feet away, just releases. So 42 damage, Havel.
Oh, damn. Now I'm worried.
Yep, these kind of helix arrows just kind of drill into your flesh. The twists on them just carrying them further in. Stagger backwards under the force of the blows. But it can't quite reach you just yet. Rulin, you're up.
I'm up.
Mm-hmm.
Whack. Right. Stowing the bow, drawing the spear. Oh, I can't do both as an action, can I?
It would be a bonus action to do both.
Drop the bow, draw the spear?
That'd be a free action.
Okay, do that. And I'm going to stab this motherfucker in the back. First attack?
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm going to do.
Yep.
21.
The spear goes out, but that powerful flap from the wings kind of hits the shaft of the spear, knocking it away from center mass.
Second attack. Nope, that's also a miss.
Having grabbed its attention, the hand comes back with a parry from the flaming sword.
Flurry blows. I fucking just do these 2 straight up. 29 and a miss.
Yep, so kind of using your first blow as a feint to draw away a second parry, you strike at the outstretched arm and manage to connect.
That'll be 14 damage on that.
How do you want to do it, Rulin?
Not really.
Yep.
You bastard.
It's a quick jump up, flying kick to the back of the head. Just cracks the spine.
Yep. So already weakened from Braxton's heavy blows, the creature's vertebrae seem to crack under your foot. The creature kind of almost spasms, causing one last flap of the wings to kind of propel it quite erratically up and off the bridge, again falling away as it kind of slumps down into the mountainside below.
I've used all my attacks and all over here. Still this one over here, I guess. I'll pick up my bow and maneuver over to about there. And that's my turn.
Chris.
Okay, I am going to take myself to about there, and I'm gonna what am I gonna do? Let's go Eldritch Blast. Let's triple hit it. I'll try to.
Mm-hmm.
14, 21, and a 25.
2 hits and a miss.
2 hits and a miss. D10. Yeah. Oh shit. It's 19 damage. And tell you what,
Chris.
we'll repelling blast it as well.
So your repelling blasts kind of hit, and you see the armor just give way. under the thought of it. And this creature's kind of blown out of the air, kind of hits the structure containing the staircase, kind of hits it and pings off under the force, and again just kind of rolls down the rock face as you blow it clean away.
Whew.
Well,
Hmm. How you doing,
So
Braxton?
is-
A little worse for wear. I'm okay though.
Easy claps.
Can I, since in character we don't really know what those things were, can I do a religion check to see if they were significant in any way religiously?
Sure. Yeah, roll a religion.
No, I think that's a 3.
A 3.
Yeah.
No, Braxton, in the heat of the moment, you were more focused on staying alive.
Can I
Did
do
I-
a religion roll?
I was going to say, did I get an idea when I eyeballed them?
Yeah, so you, Triss, would have had a better idea. So you knew that they were celestial of sorts. However, it appears that these ones were acting as free agents. They were here at their own behest, having forsaken their original deity, sacrificing some of their power for that taste of freedom.
I wonder why they were here. There must be something that they wanted here.
I'd be interested to see what's on the other side of this bridge.
Yeah, they seem to not like me crossing this bridge, so let's see what's there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you make your way across the rest of the bridge, and you come to this standing tower.
The weird feeling gone.
You're still a bit uneasy, but with the demise of those creatures, less so. But yeah, Braxton, you lead the way towards this tower. And you could see that, again, the doors on this have seen better days. You are able to push them. They come in. The hinge is a little rusty, but you're able to force entry. And what you see when you get inside is a kind of a raised altar of sorts. It's a large stone, rectangular altar, probably about 10 foot long by about 5 foot wide. However, you can see statues of, again, plate-clad knights carved from the same stone as the mountain once more, all of which appear to be kneeling towards this altar, kind of surrounding it from all sides. There's about 6 statues. But you sense that there is something wrong with this scene. The temple has been desecrated.
Just the same as the other side.
Could I go and touch one of those statues and cast Identify?
Sure. So, Triss, you go and cast Identify, and it is a stone statue of no special properties.
I like to imagine Torix just behind you, eagerly awaiting, like, is it magical?
Own personal metal detector, but for magic, yeah.
Yeah.
When he asks that, I'll cast Detect Magic as well, seeming to have forgotten that that was something that might have been a good place to start with. I'm not going to let on that I didn't do it.
Again, so you cast Detect Magic, and you can see that this has been magically desecrated. It was clearly once a holy site of some importance, but that consecration has long since passed.
Wonder if there's a way to deduce who disrupted the holiness of this site. Holiness a word?
I just sort of look over my shoulder at where we just encountered them three things, and maybe it was them. You know?
I don't know. Trish, you said they were celestial in nature, right? Maybe they were angered by the.
Yeah, they were sort of freelance, I think. Whoever they'd been working with, I don't think they were working with them anymore.
Their unholiness could have been enough to desecrate.
Maybe. Can't say for sure. Maybe we should keep our eyes open.
Well, I definitely felt some sort of unholy energy during those blows. I'd say they have the capacity to do it.
What does unholiness feel like? Is it like a cold shower?
Tarek, you've spent time in my house. Surely you've got a bit of an idea.
Oh, you're unholy. It's more you going into my head, quite frankly.
Well, there you go. There's your answer.
Yeah, so this site, again, clearly quite old, but lacks the worship facilities of the chapel downstairs. There are no pews. It appears there's no pulpit to preach from. It is really just this altar and the attending statues. Kind of a tower goes up towards the sky, but you can see that the roof has long since fallen in. It's honestly quite miraculous that the rubble managed to miss the altar and its statues.
Yeah. So I guess the only thing to do is to go and check out the altar.
So, Preston, you approach and see that this has been, again, carved from the natural rock of the mountain, but quite clearly polished. Roll me a perception.
15.
There is the ever so slightest sign of a parting in the centre of the altar, like a kind of hairline crack that runs across from one end to the other, but it's far too straight to be naturally occurring.
Can I see if I can pull sort of one side away from the other side?
Sure, roll me an athletics.
Uh, 19.
So you kind of grip firmly each side of the altar and kind of putting a foot against the base, heave with all your might, but to no avail. The altar doesn't move an inch.
So perhaps I'll go back to the middle of the altar and kneel once again, placing my hand like on the fault line and reciting the vows like I did in that other temple.
Alrighty, so Braxton, if you have that to hand,
Oh God,
that would be time. If not, I think I do somewhere.
I think I do in our chat.
Well, while you're looking for that, I've got an idea.
In blackest day and darkest night, no evil shall escape my sight.
Yeah, no, I found it. Yeah, so I am sworn to support. Hang on, sorry, the word that makes sense.
Hang on a minute. This isn't my prayer book. This is a user manual for the drill bow.
Braxton rereads his contracts and realizes he doesn't like the conditions anymore.
I've been fucking duped.
I think one of the words has been auto-corrected, and I don't know what it's meant to be.
Go on then.
I'll just change it for another word. Right. I am sworn to support and protect all good souls in need. When brave hearts look to falter, my guidance will reinvigorate the fight in my allies. My blade shall be the vessel to channel Azura's divine power to any force unfortunate enough to find itself on the receiving end of its mighty blows. My actions are performed in your representation. I will strive that every action I take will highlight your benevolence and lead the unfaithful into worshipping you. I will help to recover your waning support. That's it.
So as Braxton finishes up his oath upon the altar, you hear the kind of soft click as certain mechanisms begin to function. The two sides of this altar kind of pull away from each other and reveal beneath a hidden compartment in the altar. Braxton, looking in, you would see what appears to be a very ancient-looking sword. Roll me a religion. With advantage, because it's from your order.
Oh, I'll have to... Oh,
Yeah,
that's
no
good
worries.
anyway. Yeah, that's a 18.
So you recognize immediately, even through the kind of rust and the decay, that you are looking at the fabled sword of Azura herself, a magic weapon by the name of Galatine. It looks like in its current condition it isn't really fit for battle, but perhaps someone at your guild might know, your holy order might know something more about the weapon. Potentially how to restore it.
I have somebody D40.
But yeah, this is a relic, again, long thought lost.
So I'm just making notes.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of sort of stare in amazement, sort of almost without words. This is probably the best of anything that we've found so far.
Yes, this goes back a long time and is depicted in quite a few of the paintings in the Bastion. This was the blade used to anoint each of the companion knights, and its significance to your order is very hard to understate. To overstate, sorry. That's that's the equivalent saying, yeah, it's all right. But no, this is an important artifact that you've recovered, and you would recognise it as such.
Nice. So
like a +2? Or...
Well, as I said, its current condition doesn't lend itself very well to combat.
Yeah.
Is it just the sword on its own, or is there any sort of like a adornment so I can attach it to my body and carry it?
There's a scabbard there, so you would be able to carry it.
Yeah. So I'll get that sort of securely strapped onto me, and
Sure. So this is again quite a delicate weapon, more akin to a rapier than a longsword. But you strap the scabbard to your belt. The rest of you kind of looking on, you realise that he's clearly found something important, even if it does look just like a rusty sword.
now this is important. I need to get this back to Nona.
Okay.
What do we get out of it if we return it?
Next time, I'll drink your potions.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I was asking like in a serious context as well. I was like, what are the tangible results for pursuing this particular thing? But Torik's been won over.
All right. So, yeah, Braxton, you now are in possession of a fair few of these artifacts, and you're right to say that your order would definitely appreciate getting those.
Yeah. The others seem like pale in comparison now to this one.
Okay.
Yeah, the sword is a relic that has been held in more esteem than most, as it features quite prominently in quite a lot of the tellings.
Yeah.
Should we try and make it back for the ship? It would land us conveniently close.
True. Think we can make it?
We can try.
Well, it's been about 3 days, so you'd have
How long
4
did they
days to
say
make
they
it
were-
back to the ship. They said they'd wait a week, so
Okay.
you'd have 4
Right.
days to get back.
So we've still got to go down to the basement thing as well,
Oh yeah.
where the illusion,
Yeah.
Oh no.
or at least, take a look at it.
Yeah, that's
See-
this is what I've been fearing. Like, what if everything we've just witnessed was an illusion?
I didn't
What
hear
if
any
we're in the
clues
Matrix?
that there was illusions going on up here. It's not to say that there wasn't.
Life is an illusion. None of this is real, Torik.
Worst case scenario, it was projecting up an illusion and we've just killed a handful of angels.
Yeah.
Nah, I think we're good.
Worst case scenario is that Torik's like in a fucking drug fueled rampage somewhere. Like year or so has just been in his head.
Yeah. Reality is an illusion created by lack of shimmer.
Not too much.
Campaign's final boss is just a meffed up Torik, just
It's
resistance to most damage types, just because he just has detached his nerves from his brainstem by this point with just copious drug use.
Got a really powerful bite attack if you get close to it.
Wait, so that fucking halfling guy that we came across in where was it?
Oh, in Illyris, yeah.
Hilarious, yeah. It's like maybe Torik's going to take over the empire.
Drug Empire, yeah. Okay, cool. So, yeah, Braxton carefully puts away his newfound relic. And you guys make your way back across a bridge and into the stairwell. So you get down to the floor with the chapel on it. So there's a plan to investigate the below level.
I think give it a quick look, see. At the very least.
Mhm.
Okay, so the stairwell going down is not very well lit. Most of the natural light have been since been blocked out by the levels of the stairs above it. So you cautiously advance down. When you get to the bottom, you see there's a corridor carved out of a rock, leading, kind of snaking again further in towards the depths of the mountain. However, this quite quickly comes to a larger room. Again, seems to have been dug out. And two things immediately strike you about this room. You can see that in the middle there is a plinth of sorts. It appears to have a small archway, probably only about 30 centimeters or so in diameter. But this is kind of on a pedestal, and this pillar kind of reaches up probably about 2 meters into the room. The other thing you notice is there is what appears to be another set of markings on one of the walls opposite the entrance to the corridor. It appears to mark the outline of a door, but you see that there is just stone, like sheer rock face. There is no indication that there is a door there whatsoever.
Stood in the middle of the room, if I cast Detect Magic, can I tell where the illusion is coming from?
Yes, there is illusion magic in the room for sure.
Can I sense which direction, or is it just sort of surrounding?
It seems to be largely focused on the wall.
The wall where there's an outline of a door.
Yes, yeah, in that kind of area.
Braxton, I think there might be a door actually there. There's some sort of illusion in place. I don't imagine it'll let me pass, but it probably will let you past.
Yeah. So I walk up to the wall and push my hand against sort of the middle of where the door is outlined.
Okay, so Braxton, you walk forward and place your hand against it, and it feels like cold stone. You are unable to shift anything.
I'll walk up to the center plinth and have a look at it.
So this plinth largely serves the purpose of just supporting this smaller archway, although it seems to be elevated above the height at which you would tend to put a statue.
Braxton, what happens if you pop your arm through that archway thing?
Well, that's what I was just thinking.
Hmm.
Well, can I see through the archway?
You'd have to kind of scurry up the plinth a little bit to kind of get to that level.
I'll do
it wouldn't
that
be
then.
too tricky a task. So you get up there and have a look through.
It's only like 30 centimeters wide or something, didn't you say?
Yeah. And you see that there's no obvious signs of any trickery there. You look through it and you just see the other side of a room.
I'll take out a little marble and throw it through.
Yep. So you toss this marble through the little arch, and it kind of clinks harmlessly against the floor on the other side.
Is there any writing on the arch or anything at all?
Roll me a perception.
15.
It's surprisingly bright in this room for a a room that was dug into the side of a mountain. You notice.
Is there a light source?
So you look around further, and it appears that just above the doorway leading back to the staircase, there is an open shaft that again appears to be dug through the rock. But this one leads to clearly the outer environment, because you can see light coming in through it.
I think I see where this is going.
Yes.
I'll hop down off the plinth
Mm-hmm.
and wander over to the shaft.
Uh-huh.
Hey.
So,
And
yes.
from where the shaft is located, would that be pretty much straight on to the little archway?
So the shaft is at the very kind of top of a room, is almost coming down at a 45-degree angle. And you estimate that it probably lines up with the arch.
I will
markings.
take out my shaving mirror, because I do actually have a mirror in my equipment. And I'll see if I can reflect some light towards the arch.
Well, as it currently stands, the light is already hitting the arch.
Okay. I thought that was going to be like a light beam lights it up.
Braxton, what happens if you stand on the other side of the arch and have the light hit you? Or your shield, maybe.
Well, where... Well,
The
is it...
shield. Good idea. I hold the shield the other side of the arch, pointing towards the light.
Okay, Braxton, so you line yourself up and raise your shields. Other than dazzling Torek, you get no result.
Okay, so not the shield. I delicately unsheath the sword and hold it in the light.
You raise the sword. The light catches on it, and kind of just see the a rusty blade gleam a little bit. But again, nothing happens.
I go back to the plinth and scramble back up.
Yep.
Can I turn the centerpiece?
Give me a strength check, please.
That's not good. Nope.
No, you cannot.
Okay.
Havel, am I right in thinking you have keen mind as a feat?
I do.
In which case you would know that the shaft is north facing.
I see.
Cool.
Nice.
Now my mind's blank. I will tell the others though.
Yeah.
It's casually about. That's facing north, right?
I've got visions of Havel just leaning against the wall, watching us all like scrambling around.
That's
like
exactly what
ticks.
I'm doing. He's just like by the door. Just
Havel's a
We
little
need
lower
to-
in itself with puzzle solving.
Okay, so we need to do this. So we've got wall here with the outline of an archway.
Yep.
We've then got all the... And then the shaft is like coming down this side.
Hold on, it might be easier if I illustrate, because
But then like a plinth in the middle. With a little archway.
except it's more akin to...
Yeah. I think I know what's going on.
Is this too big of an archway as well? Or is it like...
Well, just for illustration purposes, you
Okay, yeah.
get the gist of it.
Torek, didn't I hear you mumbling to yourself about the stars earlier?
Yes, why?
Yes. Well, I'd imagine the North Star up these parts of the lands is particularly bright. Perhaps that is what's meant to shine through the shaft.
Mhm. So what you're saying is wait till nightfall.
Yes.
Or maybe an illusion of the North Star will suffice.
Does that shaft line up with the archway on the plinth and the archway on the wall?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a 45-degree angle from
Yep.
across like the room.
Yeah.
I use minor illusion to create a miniature North Star.
So it does illuminate the room, but it appears to make no change.
Ah, here's another thing. I will, once again, scrambling up the plinth, I'll put my body between the light and the arch to stop any light from passing through.
Yep. So you block the arch, and here no signs that it's had any effect from your companions.
Okay, I'll just climb down. I'm making a fool of myself.
While
It's proving that you
Wilford's
can climb.
is scrambling up and down the plinth and sort of faffing with that, I'm gonna walk up to where the archway on that wall is, and I'm gonna cast Identify on it.
Yep. So Triss is definitely an illusion. It appears that it requires certain conditions to be met in order to trigger the illusion. However, it is currently in its dormant state.
Oh.
I say we take this opportunity to take a short rest and wait for nightfall.
Hold on. Where did we come in at?
So you came
From
in
this side.
underneath. Yeah, so like kind of in this way.
Braxton, how shiny is your shield?
Not looking too great, probably now.
It's taken a few hits in recent
Yeah.
rounds.
Could
Yeah.
it theoretically reflect some light?
Tried that with the mirror.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that it might be specific to something related to Azura. That was why. Because I was going to say, could you try reflecting the light through the plinth archway back to the door that we came in on? In through, sorry.
I think the light is intended to go through the other way because it comes in from where we came from and straight through. So reflecting it from that side, it would go like in and straight out.
It was just with the illusion currently being dormant.
Yeah, I think the
It has to be a specific time of day, I think.
yeah, I think it's
But-
when the North Star lines up here, and we get starlight running through and onto the door.
Well,
So if I just quickly check my pocket watch, what time of day is it now?
So you're looking at about 6 in the evening.
We've got
So the
plenty of
sun will
time.
be going down soon. It'll probably take a little while longer after that for the stars to come out. Or to be visible. So maybe we could hang on. Potentially still got time to fly back and get out of here. How long did we have again for the boat now?
4 days.
4 days.
4 days. Yeah, so we've got time if
Yeah.
if Havel can maybe get us some owls next time as well. But maybe that'll be better for ruling. But or if we wanted to still continue on west, whatever decision we make, we've got time to have a rest. We break out the camping gear.
Okay, so you guys settle in.
If that's what everyone wants to do, I guess.
So short rest and all the benefits afforded therein.
Ooh.
I will.
Before I have a short rest, I'm going to ask Tarek if he's got any potions of healing spare.
I could whip something up.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, if Tarek wants to whip up some potions.
I mean, I'll just burn 2 hit die.
I might as well use the potions first.
I'm going to
Well,
use.
it costs him like his spell slots, doesn't it? To do
I have to sacrifice a level 1 spell slot for every potion.
and he doesn't get them back on a short rest.
Ooh.
I do not
Fair
get
point.
them back on a short rest.
Fair point.
Otherwise, the class would be broken if you think about it. Everyone
Yeah,
would just chug healing
Yeah.
potions
Give me
before
all your
the.
healing potions.
I'd have to create some homebrew balance, like they're incredibly sugary and just diabetes is a high risk.
Rampant. Well, you've all lost your left foot.
Yeah.
Oh no! The way to balance health potions
Oh,
would
nice.
be to add caffeine to them, so you can't rest after.
Yeah.
Crispy, I healed exactly the damage that he did to me, so I'm back up to max.
Alrighty. Make a note of how many hit die you're burning as well.
Yeah,
I've ticked it off on D&D Beyond.
I used 4 and healed 30 hit points.
30 hit points for a much more respectable 80.
I used 3 and healed for 12.
Well, okay.
Could be
Worth
better.
it.
Could be worse.
And I'm going to use 5. Where's my d10s? There they are.
But do you not get any plus? Oh no, your constitution's shite, isn't it?
Yeah, it's d10s, so they're never.
Oh,
gonna
and
fail.
Havel as well. Everyone always dumps
Yeah,
constitution.
for
Such
D10s, Jason, if you right click the one that's wobbling and then choose its rotation value, so right click it.
Or you can just
Rotation
select and hover
value.
over it, and
Click
it'll tell you
skip.
how much they all total to.
There we go. 32.
So 32
nice.
for Havel.
69. All
Nice.
Also 9 for Torek.
9 for Torek. Alrighty.
right.
Okay, so you guys kind of bunker down and dress some wounds. And night starts to fall as you're doing this, and you can see that the originally the volume of light in the room kind of fades away as the sun sets. But before too long, you can start to see the stars shimmering down the kind of shaft here, and you see that the light actually forms a shadow is cast through this arch, and it starts off a little out of line, about the same size, but about a foot to the left. But as another hour passes, this light overlaps with the outline on the wall. And Tris, you see the wall kind of flicker for a moment, and then what appears to be a vault door appears in between these etched lines. It has what appears to be one of those kind of large hand-turned wheels in the centre.
Yeah, I'm not touching
quick.
that.
Well, I'll quickly run over before the light moves too far and it disappears again.
Okay, so Rulin, you hop over and grab firmly onto this and start to kind of spin it. It kind of turns quite easily. It's clearly not locked. And before too long, you hear the kind of restraining bolts kind of clunk home fully as you finish turning. And with a kind of deft push, this door opens again quite slowly. But as you add more force to it and momentum builds, it opens to its full extent, and you see located within appears to be a very large room filled to the brim with treasure,
Oh my god.
like piles of gold. You can see there's clearly an altar of sorts with kind of broken off hooves and a fallen stone statue of a cavalryman. You can see other fallen statues, treasure chests filled with, again, a lot of gold, but you can see that there's a substantial portion of this is also kind of precious gemstones. It appears that the kind of centerpiece of this collection is one large cut ruby placed on this altar. Alright, looking at it, this is the largest such stone you've ever seen. You wouldn't even be able to guess how many carats you're looking at, but it's probably about the size of a man's fist.
Oh, doggy.
However, you guys do notice there appears to be a grill, a metal grill, just in front of the entryway.
Posted a very appropriate meme. Oh, no, okay. Aladdin, anyone? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm now.
Whatever we
worried.
take, we're all fucked.
Yeah. Well, Braxton might not be, but the rest of us are certainly fucked.
Well, it's a metal grill. We'd have to get past anyway.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
it doesn't actually pose an entry, a barrier to entry. It's just in the room before you get to the treasure.
It just stops cows and sheep getting there.
You'd be able to easily walk in here and avoid it.
But why is it there? That is the question.
Tarek, is there anything dodgy about any of this to you guys?
Do I get any bad juju?
You get a very golden juju. There is a significant amount of treasure.
Without slight metagaming, I don't think Crispy would give us this much treasure unless he was going to kill us.
There is. I do feel like there is a trap here. That metal grill is giving me some concern.
Any magic?
Oh no, the gold kraken.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah. On that note, I am gonna cast detect magic.
Chris, there appears to be a certain sort of warding magic in here, but you can't quite pinpoint where from.
Okay, so there is some kind of ward in effect here, but I don't know any more than that.
Okay, so nobody goes in, nobody touches anything until we figure out what is the issue.
Okay, so Rulin, you kind of hold everyone back and take a closer look. And you can see actually that there are kind of a pair of stone pillars in the vault, and each of which has a fairly heavy-duty chain attached to it. And these chains kind of snake across the floor, but then descend into this grill.
So the grill's on the floor?
The grill's on the floor.
Yeah, like a cattle gate.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like
kind
upright.
of circular in nature.
So if we disturb something, the chains pull, the floor collapses, and we all fall into oblivion.
Possibly.
Look around at the others.
That's
Like,
a bit to that effect.
Could I send some mage hand in? How do we feel about that?
well, if
It all.
it's a ward, maybe it'll react if we try and enter without disabling it somehow. Even something like your magical hand might set off a trap.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was going to send it in. It's a little bit more disposable than any of us.
But is there any way to disable this ward though before we go in? Is there anything like in the immediate entryway? Like just having a look around, is there like anything that looks like a big fucking lever or a keypad or something?
So, Ruin, you give a very thorough search of the immediate entryway, and you see nothing. The floor tiles are all there and secure. There's no kind of micro thin grip wire of sorts. You sense no kind of triggering mechanisms for any traps of any sort.
But what about like? Oh, I guess this is more of a Toric thing. But like, what do you make of the architecture, Toric? Who do you think built all of this?
I suppose I could have a little look around and see what I think. Can I roll an investigation, Amans?
You can.
Cool. I am just
Yeah,
minimizing
work up
the score.
total and
And I add genius points to that to make it a 15.
so you look around and the architecture is clearly dug out rather than built. The only thing that was really constructed as such was the kind of a stone floor and this metal grill. The architecture is of a pretty much identical nature to the rest of the temple.
I'll relay this. I'll be like, well, the architecture seems very similar to the rest of the temple. This area seems to be dug in, though. Kind of typical of a vault, right?
I think the whole temple is dug in.
Well, at any rate, do you know what kind of spells I could pull off with a gem like that? Maybe I could even build a golem.
Does anyone feel particularly dexterous and want to give it a go? I can offer some protection.
Dexterous, you say?
We had a monk who had a habit of perpetually rolling that ones at inopportune moments.
Basically...
Hold on, before we do anything, unless you had an idea, Braxton?
Basically, as one of my new levels 4 spells, I have access to the spell Death Ward, which means the first time someone is going to hit 0 hit points from damage, they instead have 1 hit point, and the spell ends.
Okay.
Want to hear something cool? I get access to that as well.
Nice.
Okay, I have 2 ideas. First, could I do an Arcana check to see if there's anything that sounds familiar about this setup here with the chains, the grill, and potential warding?
Sure. Okay, so roll up for me.
And the second part to this is... Toric can fly and I can levitate. Ooh, that was not good. That was 19?
Okay, Triss, so this is a ward and it's clearly to contain something.
Ooh, is there a big monster in that grate?
From where you're standing, you just can't tell.
Okay. Toric, how's your flying looking at the moment?
I can have access to flying quite easily. Just takes mixing these 2 chemicals together. I would tell you the name of the chemicals, but I know you won't be listening.
This is correct.
I can also crawl up walls and ceilings with my fancy gloves.
Oh, and I've got spider climb as well. So we could actually
Well,
get a couple
that's
of people
basically
doing
what
that.
my gloves do is spider climb.
Yeah, we could get a couple
Only
of
your
people doing
balls.
that, maybe.
What are you, some kind of Spider-Man?
Well, it's in case, like I said, the floor...
Spider.
Spider. In case the floor collapses or, some lava comes pouring up out of that grate. I don't know.
How about I go? I think I've got an invention that could keep me safe if it is lava.
If it is. If it's a big
If
chunky
it's
monster
lava. Yeah.
on those chains. And it's
I mean, if we say to ourselves, we just want the ruby, I can run in there as fast as anything and run out again before anything has a chance to...
I mean, if we can help it, we want to sweep the place out, right?
Well, I can fit as much as I can into a bag of holding.
Well, do the 2 of you want to go in together?
We can watch each other's back. Do you want a flying potion?
Looking around the ruby, obviously there's the giant ruby and piles of gold and stuff, but is there other specifics? That stand
Um,
out? Or-
It's a big pile of treasure. You'd have to probably rifle through it to really work that out.
Is there like signs of anything else amongst the treasure?
Nothing of any significant size other than perhaps the fallen statues, but they're broken in several pieces.
So I was just thinking we're all focused on the grate, but bear in mind there could be something actually in the room already that's like just waiting to leap out at us as soon as we run in. Or it might just the whole room could just explode. You know.
Seems like a legitimate concern. Well,
What are we thinking?
if you two are willing to go in, I can always get you back out. Hopefully, if something happens and the door closes, we've got an idea.
So, Tarek, if you want to go for the ruby, and I'll be a greedy little elf and run around and stuff as much gold in the back as I can.
Sure, I'm up for this. Is it you who had a bag of holding?
Yes,
Okay.
Conveniently.
that's what I mean. I can move a little bit faster. I can probably just stuff. Well, if I just hold the bag open and like I'll put it at floor level and just sweep forwards,
Sweet
scoop,
style.
scoop as much as I can into it.
Meanwhile, Torek's being like lowered, super slow style Mission Impossible into the gem vault. With
But
his
I'll have
right
me.
You need to be moving as quick as ruling, to be fair.
I'll have my gloves on and everything ready just in case I need to start running up ceilings and shit. I don't know.
And Torek, do you have your flight
I
ready? Just
I craft up and drink a flight potion.
Okay, so
Keep an eye out for any bows.
And I'm gonna keep off the floor.
okay, Tarek, so you keep off the floor.
Oh, well, I'll do that. Then I'll run along the wall.
Okay, so Rulin, you start to run along the wall. However, this only affords you, reach to not even a fifth of the treasure in this room. It's all fairly close to the center. But as you get in, you realize you may have underestimated just how much gold is in this room. Tarek, roll me an intelligence check, just to do a bit of quick head maths.
Sure thing, sure.
Fucking supermarket.
Is this a saving throw or?
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
That's 22 in that case.
So, Tarek, you do a little bit of estimation given on the volume that you can see. You reckon there's probably about 30,000 gold in this vault.
Holy motherfucker.
You can just imagine as I'm drifting along at 10 feet. I'm just like got a little improvised abacus. Like, oh my god.
And
oh my god.
it's harder to really guess, but given the kind of dispersal and quality of the gems, you can see the piles. You reckon there's probably about 6,750 gold in gems, notwithstanding the kind of a large centerpiece ruby, which alone you reckon is probably worth about another 10 grand.
Wow.
But yeah, you know and relay to Rulin that this is going to take probably the best part of half an hour, 45 minutes to kind of get all this secured in the bag of holding.
Wait, so nothing bad's happened?
No.
Holy shit. Not yet.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
seeing as no initial trap went off, I'll get down from the wall and
So
start making my way towards the bigger gold pile, scooping up the gems as a priority.
Yep. So you start stuffing this in. Again, it's going to be a long process.
Actually, I'm going to stop at one point. I'm just going to actually pick up one of the coins and have a proper look at it.
So the currency is in a denomination you don't recognise, but it's definitely gold.
I'll bite it.
They're all mimics.
Tastes like gold. Yeah. If Can you imagine that? Just a colony of like 30,000 mimics. Just that's going to be a long ass combat.
Yeah, but they're all the size of gold pieces, so I have like 1 hit point.
Death by 1,000 cuts, mate.
So how much of this altogether then could we fit in the bag of holding?
Bag of holding, you could get pretty much all of it in. It just take time.
Okay. Keep doing that again, then, I guess. Has Tarek picked up the ruby yet?
At the moment, he was just floating and kind of taking stock of it all.
Maybe we
It's
leave
going
the
to take
ruby.
me a while to float over there. Hang on.
Okay. Maybe leave the ruby for last in case it sets something off, perhaps.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do like an Indiana Jones to it. Like I'm gonna fly over to it and just like stroke my stubble chin, looking at it, trying to.
You know that didn't work. He still set off the trap when he did that.
I know. But you know, I'm gonna look inquisitively at it. I haven't said anything more.
I like the idea of Tarek like explaining this and everybody else like, what the fuck's a film? Like
It was Indiana Jones.
Yeah, who's this guy?
Indiana Gnomes, his mentor at the academy.
Oh, what's he called in Hearthstone?
Oh yeah, the fucking Murloc.
No, there's a specific one, isn't there? Harrison Jones, that's it.
Oh yeah, I know the one you're on about. Yeah, that's just World of Warcraft. Isn't it?
Okay, in that case, Rulin, would you like some help?
I think I mean, yeah. I mean, I've only got 1 bag, so it's only so much 2 people could scoop into 1 bag. Yeah, if you want to come in.
I'm gonna risk. No, actually, if anyone steps in, it should be not me. No.
Should be probably the person who can get out the easiest.
I know, but I'm the most likely to piss all the things off. I think.
Fair point.
Maybe? No, I can get out. I'll come in. It'll be okay.
Okay, so Tritz, you tentatively step foot in the vault, but after a few seconds of having no ill effect, you give the grill a bit of a wide berth, but make your way over to where Rulin is.
Actually, once I've popped a couple of coins in, I'm going to go back over and have a peer into that grill.
Alright, so
It's where
Tritz,
we fuck up.
you kind of stare down into this grill and can you roll me a investigation, please?
Sure. Okay. Don't fuck it up. 28.
So Tris, as you look down, you can't really see any sign of a bottom of this, but you notice that the grill is actually, there's a gentle slope in the vault leading to this as the lowest point, and you can see that there is evidence of very, very old bloodstains kind of leading into this grill.
Oh shit. I'm gonna have a look around while they're doing that and see if I can get any more indication of what's going on with this grill situation.
Alright, so the others continue looking around.
Being greedy little pigs.
Yep. Rulin, you actually you uncover what appears to be a weapon case. You undo the clasps and open it, and it appears to be a very ornately crafted longbow. You see that the kind of end tips are kind of ornately capped in what appears to be sterling silver. And the bowstring appears to be made of mithril.
I pick it up and throw it down the grate. No.
Have a look.
and I look Havel in the eyes while I do it.
I'm sorry, Rudin, I'm going to have to take your first answer. No, so you kind of look at this, and it appears that the grip is also encrusted with small semi-precious gems. Clearly, a lot of craftsmanship went into this. Quite an ornate piece.
Well, I'll close the clasps and I'll sort of put that under one arm, I guess, while continue scooping. Wish I had bigger hands. Just scooping gold into the back.
Oh, maybe I could enlarge them for you.
No.
All right, so you continue your task. You've been at it for about 5-10 minutes now, and it's still, it feels like you've not already made all too much of a dent yet.
Horrick's going to spend a little bit of time trying to convince Roland that having big hands would be beneficial to his life. It's like, imagine your punches, they'd be like, pow! Even better, I promise.
Yeah. I'm good. Thank you, Tarek.
No imagination.
But, as you start to get to the end of one pile, Rulin, you notice that the fallen statue of the kind of mounted knight, whilst broken, you see that the eyes are actually opals, set quite deeply in. They would be valuable if pried out.
What's the statue made of?
It appears to be stone of a similar nature to the rest of the constructs in this temple.
So the chain that goes through the grate up to the statue. That's like
they go up to two pillars, kind of either side of the
Oh,
door. It's not
right,
up
okay.
to the statue as such.
I thought it was to the statues.
The chains don't connect to the statue. It's just fallen into the vault.
I guess I'll pause for a minute and just examine the statue.
Mm-hmm. So the statue itself, whilst in multiple pieces now, clearly at one stage was originally supposed to depict a warrior of sorts. Clearly, somebody quite important. You can see that there is plate kind of covering him, but yeah, you see the eyes are set with opals, which give them quite a kind of almost realistic look, as if somebody's kind of pupils were following you.
Oh no.
How big is the statue's? Well, so is the head like falling apart? Like, it's just like a head with a couple of opals in it. Like
The head is still attached. Really the most damage has been done to this guy's arms as he's fallen off. The torso and legs are still riding the horse, but it's a large statue. The head is probably not much smaller than you are.
Oh, okay.
Do you mean he's life size?
He is significantly larger than life size.
Oh.
Might be considered massive. I mean, his head is almost as big as Ruland, so.
Oh, fucking right. Okay.
Yes, the horse would be quite a specimen as well if it were animated.
I like the way Crispy said that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, I'll carry on scooping gold for now and maybe come back to the eyes later.
Mm-hmm. So you carry on scooping the gold.
Did sorry.
Maybe you should pass the case to Havel. Just saying, maybe.
Did
Well-
you say that the cables, the chains were attached to columns?
Yeah, so if I maybe draw, just to give you a better idea. Okay, so if you've got the vault entrance here, the grate would be about here.
Mhm.
Pillars with the chains here. Plinth with the ruby. One's house of statue would be there. Statue itself is around here.
Okay. Could I go and have a look at those columns?
Sure.
And see how the
So
chains are attached and stuff like that?
yeah, so these columns are quite sizable. The chains are kind of attached to a semicircular final link, which itself is kind of bolted onto this pillar by a quite sizable metal plate, probably about 5 foot by 5 foot of steel. Clearly quite heavy duty items here.
Okay. Nothing obviously magical going on near it?
Nope, that appears pretty mundane.
Okay. No markings on there.
Just the chains.
And some golden spaghetti over here.
Alright. Could I go and have a look at the doorway back out from the context of inside?
Yep, so the door is ajar at this point, and it's obviously the vault door, so it's quite large. But it remains open, and you can see it leads back into the room with the little arch and the plinth.
Is there any warding signs on there or anything like that?
No, there is no indication of any markings around the edge of this door. It appears that now that it's open, the illusion is holding.
Can I go back to the grate and have a look around the edge of it and see if that reveals any more information to me?
Sure. So you have a look.
The floor.
So the grate again is very, very thick steel. The bars probably, Triss, are about as thick as your kind of lower leg. This was made to last. And likewise, where it's attached to the stone, you can see that it's been bolted in place by sizable securing bolts. But in terms of the arcane, you see nothing.
Right. Okay, folks. I can't see anything that's going on. There is some blood around this grate, so I'm guessing that is definitely responsible for our trouble when we try and get out of here. Have either of you two noticed anything else in here?
Well, the big statue has some big opals.
I'm sorry.
Feels like
it's not
it's
a
kind of
euphemism.
watching me.
Oh.
But no, nothing untoward.
Could I go and have a look at the statue then?
Sure. So again, Triss, the first thing that strikes you is the size. It was clearly, a man of important status to merit such a kind of memorialization. But at some point, it's clearly fallen. The legs of a horse are kind of thin enough that there's a substantial amount of weight resting on them, and that's would have been the weak points that would have been most likely to stress fracture. Indeed, it seems that's what happened. The horse's legs are in a state of quite bad disarray. But Rulin's right. The kind of main focal point of the head here are these, magnificent opals that really bring a sense of life to the statue, even though he lies in the kind of pile of gold unmoving.
I don't know how this is going to go down. Everyone just be prepared for a second. I'm going to eyeball it.
Okay, so Triss, you look over it with the eyeball, and nothing really seems out of the ordinary.
If I turn and have a look at the grate with the eyeball?
Sure, again, so the eyeball quite clearly picks up these bloodstains, and they're actually they extend further into the vault. It seems that something was dragged almost towards the grate. The kind of streaks imply that this there was something being moved either towards or away from the grate. That's kind of the indication these bloodstains give.
Is there anything else that stands out with the eyeball around the sort of vault that I hadn't noticed with my normal eyes?
So you cast your eyes around magical and normal, and you get nothing.
Okay, eyeball away. I don't know, I feel like we're missing something, but I'm not seeing it. I don't know whether Braxton needs to have a look, or whether we just hope for the best.
I think I'm wary. I think we should just leave.
Yeah, that blood stain and that grate situation is very concerning. I couldn't see to the bottom. I have absolutely no idea what could have caused what looks to be quite a horrible death.
Use your eyeball to look down because you get true sight with it.
I mean, it could be we killed the angels above here, right? Maybe their blood dripped down.
I think that blood is older.
Oh.
Rulin, by this point, you've probably got like a third of the room's gold stashed away.
Ugh, it's bloody hard going. Fuck it.
All right.
If we need to be leaving quicker, I'll go for the opals.
All right, so
Opals?
yep. So you kind of stick a dagger in and kind of pry these opals out from the eye sockets. And you are correct; these are fine specimens. Clearly, very high quality, would fetch a good price. So you stash those away in the bag of holding.
And as you do,
You turn back to the gold and keep on at it.
okay. I was just waiting for that, but
I sort of feel like we would have been watching it happen. All right, and as suggested by Havel, I'm gonna have a look down the hole with the eye.
I was going like, Tress, pass me the bow.
Shall I grab the gem?
No.
Let me have a look down that hole before you do it.
Okay, so Trist, you look down the hole and you see, with your true sight, about 100 foot down, there starts to be what appear to be spikes sticking out of a well into the kind of a shaft, and on a few of these you see a few skeletons clearly impaled at some point in the past. This continues for a bit down, but you can't see the end.
Two questions. Does that grate possibly open up from the middle, like a claw?
It appears to be solid and, from what you can tell, one piece.
Could I go to the edge of the room and have a look at the join between the wall and the floor?
Yeah, sure. So, roll an investigation.
It's 15.
You find no evidence of any mechanisms or other trap components.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to go stand by the door and wait until they're done.
Okay. So, Torik,
Get the bow on the way.
are you still flying at this point?
Has it been 10 minutes?
By this point, yeah.
Okay, so my feet touch the ground.
Okay, so yeah, you find yourself in this room with the rest of the treasure.
Jeez. I really want that ruby, but I guess I should just help Roland shovel money, right? Is that the ethical thing to do?
Still going to be there at the end.
I mean, maybe not.
It's not moved yet.
Let's. Yeah, I'll help Roland shovel the money.
Okay, so the two of you get to it. Tarek, you kind of pocket a few of the more useful gems as you go. There's a
Nice.
fair few diamonds in amongst all this.
I love you.
I love diamonds.
I love diamonds. So
I love gold.
I can turn diamonds into damage.
And life.
Is Watch Die Another Day. That's all you need is some C4 in a briefcase. But
Oh, that's a good film.
yeah, so the two of you continue,
It's,
and after another 20 minutes or so, you were just about finished with the gold. And Tarek, you weren't far off the mark. The total kind of tally for gold comes to 35,000.
plus a whole load of gems.
Yeah, plus about 7,000 worth of gems,
Is that including the opals?
including opals. Yeah.
It's too good to be true.
Yeah.
Gem. I mean, there are two possibilities. I take the gem and everything comes crumbling down, or
As soon as we try and step over the threshold into the next room, it'll trigger the ward.
I have two ideas on this. So the room that they're in, at the moment, those two, it's separate to the grate, isn't it?
The room that they're in, no, it's all in one vault.
It's one
It's to the
huge
grate
room. So,
covers-
so the grate's here, there's the ruby, and then there's the gold. As well as the statue and all sorts of things. All good.
Oh, right, yeah. No, I thought it was like
Yes,
the grate was like an entrance. This is what I thought.
No,
Grate was an
I
entrance.
should have been more clear. That's just for one
No,
large
that's right,
room.
got it. But the
It's like
grate's
this-
only at this beginning bit in front of the door, kind of it. So it doesn't cover the entire floor, or
No, the grill is large, but there's ample room to walk around it.
because what we could do. So say if you mage hand the bag over and see if the grate drops, and then we can figure out how to get you over afterwards. If it does.
How heavy is the bag?
just
Well, it's a bag of holding, so
it's
it
£15.
it doesn't get heavier with more stuff.
Oh right, okay, yes, we'll be able to lift that then.
Because then if it's triggered by the gold moving over it, and the grate is the thing that drops.
Are we not better getting ourselves out, leaving the bag nearby, and then mage handing it out after us?
That is a better idea.
I see what you were doing. Good mileage. Let's get ourselves out first.
And then you can always mage hand the ruby at the end.
Yeah, true.
Or tie a rope to it and we can just tug it.
Maybe.
all right. But if the ruby drops, I'm gonna weep a small tear.
I also really don't want to lose that bag of holding because it's got other stuff in it.
That's what really don't want to lose that bow, mate.
Yeah, Havel's on your side with this one, I think.
Imagining that silver bow in the bag of holding rattling against.
Oh, it's not in the bag of holding, is it?
I could put it in the bag of holding.
Or you could just bring it with you.
Well, that's the whole point. If you try and take anything out of the room,
I know.
it might trigger.
But if it's in a pocket dimension, the spell might not notice it.
I don't know. Well, anyway, I'll stuff the bow into the bag of holding as well.
How long does mage hands last?
I think it's just while you're using it, it can
Yeah.
stay active.
Do you want to
Concentration on that.
keep the bag off the floor with mage hand while those two leave, just in case?
I mean, what if I keep my hand outstretched towards the center of the room, walk through, so it's just my right hand that's on the other side of the portal?
I think the mage hand holding it might be the better idea.
Yeah.
Let's just try something.
Okay. Right, I'll walk over to the front of the room then. Place the bag on the floor, like just out on the other side of the door.
Mm-hmm.
Then I, without the bag, will walk through the door.
Okay, so you walk through the door, and the bag remains in.
Trish
Yep.
picks up the bag now with mage hand.
Well, I'll exit myself as well.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, you're still in there?
Yeah, I'm still in.
Oh, Jesus,
just in
get out
case
one.
it's set off by anyone coming out. Right, me and Torek head out.
Okay.
Yeah, and I will pick up the bag of holding.
Okay, so you lift the bag of holding off the floor and kind of bring it over the threshold and out of the vault. And
Did anything trigger?
so far, so good. The bag seems to make no difference, and you hand it back to Brulin.
I open it up and just try and pull something out and make sure it's still there.
Yep. So
Oh.
you just grab a handful of coins, and sure enough, they're just as real.
Right.
Okay.
Let's try the ruby.
And I'll pull the bow out and hand it to Havel.
I'll try the ruby.
Ooh.
After all,
Right. In that case, if you're trying the ruby, I will stand by the vault door and be ready to close it in case everything goes to shit.
you're gonna
With
lock
Torix
me in
inside.
there.
No!
Yeah.
Wait, Torek, why don't you hang out and I'll use Mage Hand to pick up the ruby?
I thought that's what we were going to do.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Well, then I have no claim to the ruby.
But it's yours. I have no use for it.
If you say so.
No, we could sell it.
Right, Torek, get your ass out of here.
Please don't sell.
It's yours, provided we can get it out of here without us all dying.
Okay, so
In that case, someone else be ready to close the vault door.
I'll
ready.
stand ready with Braxton ready to slam it.
okay, so what's the plan here then? We mage handing a ruby.
Yeah, once Torek's out, we're gonna try and Mage Hand the ruby.
Okay, Triss. So you send your mage hand over, and it gets a kind of grip at the top of it and gives it a good solid tug, but it appears that the mage hand doesn't quite have the oomph required to dislodge this from its mounting.
Torek's
It's too
bag
heavy.
mover. Yep.
Yeah, it's basically a big solid lump of rock.
Would you like me to come with you, and then if we need to dimension door, we can do that?
That would be nice, yes.
Okay. After you.
So, do we hold hands, or?
Yeah, let's please.
Okay,
Arms
so
are
you
kind of
two cautiously skirt the grill, and approach Ruby. Kind of looking at each other, you kind of give each other a nod and reach towards the ruby. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session. So,
Yes.
Get fucked.
Yes.
so see you all next week.
Aren't you glad we left the ruby till last?
Yeah, I love it.
Do I get to know what my bow is?
You didn't cast Identify on it.
No, motherfucker.
It's a bird.
Yeah, it's a bow, it'll fire arrows. Like, what more do I need?
It's a nice looking bow.
You probably have something ridiculous like plus 18 now.
No, mate, it's made
Yeah,
of
like he
silver.
needs it. Jesus Christ.
It's
Yeah,
the
but I've only had a
killing,
plus one bow
werewolves.
this entire time, so.
And
Really?
you still fucking like do ridiculous shit with it.